And we get the old 5v5 retake to get this quarterfinal going. There is a flank from Exertion, and he just started walking at what could be the perfect moment.
Oh.
However, Axile waits. Chops down the first. We've got the first blood, the way of C9, but bomb plant, if that counts, well, that's in the hands of Mouz. JDC is going to get this one going. 2 headshots to his name. Axile with a team kill, and left on his own versus 4. That retake had nothing compared to JDC.
Yeah, bad start for Cloud9. Have a TK in the first round. Their tactic looks pretty cool. They had Hobbit throw his first grenade to soften up the first target, then a second nade for the bomb plant in that specific zone. And it doesn't do enough damage to get the kill. That could have made the 5v5 retake a little bit easier. Things get awkward and tense as the clock bleeds down. And honestly, even if kills did go their way, there was less than a quarter left on the bomb and feels like it came too close. But either way, Cloud9 come into it this next round with a force. We're talking about Cloud9, who played against Heroic on Inferno, where I gave them a compliment of saying that they were playing like they were playing online. That's how perfect the CS was on their T-side comeback, as pointed out by Maui. Really unbelievable scenes at that moment, but a good CT side is what we know they're known for. It's a kind of a great clash, fire and ice here with Mousesports, who have put up some of the best T-side so far in the major.
Yeah, good point. I like that. The impenetrable defense tested by the best of these Ts. Mouz again, double up in from Shiro. A little bit of money and a little bit of a warning maybe. When the pistol goes that easily for Mouz, nobody had yet been smacked or stunned. And now with that, at least 2 kills to Shiro. It's also going to rack up some money for his op. I think that is an interesting conversation when this head-to-head comes through, right? We want to say fire and ice. Well, we can isolate the oppers in that regard. Shiro has been unstoppable, and Torzi, despite being touted as being an up-and-comer and showing us great things when this roster first forms, this has been a rocky event for him. So we'll give him the label of ice.
Been very human, absolutely, and I think in the big game that they needed him versus Vitality, he showed up. On the games on either side of that match, he really wasn't there. And I think the most interesting thing is looking at Mousesports, his whole team on an individual level. There's no apparent hard carry, really. We had Exertion in the Challenger stage with a 1.40. We had Dexter on this last map to get them to qualify over ENCE on Mirage with 31 kills. An aberration compared to a lot of the other matches he's played recently. But nobody's been consistent all the way through besides Frozen. And Frozen himself is not putting up Shiro numbers, not even Axile peaks, but just good enough that because this team of Mousesports has shown to be so good, they aren't relying incredibly on their individuals, which is nice. But the conversation gets a little testy when you go up against a team of elite caliber like Cloud9.
Shiro ponders middle with the Desert Eagle, falls back from that. It's going to leave Axile's ump back sight. Inter's just beneath him. The support of supports is Inter's. And a nice stacked up sight. Frozen continues to just move forward here. Nothing seen so far. Little pillar will reveal itself, and off the flashbang, Inter's activates. That's the warning for bomb to go back. And in doing so, it'll find Shiro again low because of his first foray down middle and waiting for some kind of a desperate rotate. Cloud9, little to lose here, try to run out. Dexter very quickly catching the headshot of the counter IGL. They're worried about the pit, it's not occupied. Shiro's been dealt with. All the 3 remaining CTs over towards the arch end. Mouz have gone and done it. They find this open A site. They get through nearly unscathed, and that's going to be the 3-0 start.
My absolute favorite thing about Mousesports, watching their T-sides, their Inferno games, where we've seen so many Inferno picks and deciders coming out against Mouz, and they've been happy to play it. It's on T-sides, you can just see how much they've dry run, and I think you can't give that kind of compliment to that many teams where everybody is struggling on the attack to stay organized and not fall apart when they lose a kill. Mousesports are that team right now. And we're going to see a lot of R traps in this half, a lot of B attacks that look like they have crystal clarity on how the round will end. But as this goes on, lots of damage here from Cloud9. So Corgon's knocked off the board, and Hobbit keeps an AK.
Yeah, think about that. We had 4 Mouz members in the site when the 3 Cloud9 guys left with an ump. At the end of the round, it's Hobbit with an AK, easy rifle upgrade, and only a sole survivor on the Mouz end. So sure enough, leaving that A site was actually more lethal than getting into it to begin with. So we'll add that damage up, and Mouz buy in as Cloud9 have rifles for the very first time.
Yeah, I mean, that bomb is giving people nightmares, but it has made it a little bit more interesting now, post-plant.
The old habits die hard. We've seen dozens of professional players still fall to it. And the exits will continue to deliver. Nice push from Hobbit through the smoke and almost in with a second. You know, Torzi's been pressed into that smoke grenade, waiting to maybe line something up. Dexter tries his hand. Exertion in the meanwhile comes rocking up, immediately coming in lane, and he's going to get the better of Inters. We have all this fight going on in the background, and it's actually Exertion to just press in. Missed shot. Come on, Torzi. Those are the sitters. He's looking down ramp. There's 33 health left on him, but it doesn't even matter what's going down on Banana because Dexter brings in through the bomb, and it's all Exertion. It's all him. He slides through, finds his pocket, and walks away with Mouz on a 4th, denying Cloud9 and their rifles.
Yeah, it was Exertion's trade allows him to smoke Moto down, and there's no chance to retake in. Inters had a few seconds to try to win that, and Exertion wasn't looking in his direction either, so I was going to say, in terms of the entries, first of all, right here, it's a beautiful. They do have a gap on lane. They're not spotting it from March. Axile's taking a deep angle inside of Halls. So this one Liberty, I guess you could call it, swinging in that position, makes a lot of sense when you look at where Axile is standing. But they must have had a read on the situation. Now, JDC coming out of Halls was one of the coolest things to watch. Funnily enough, they played against Outsiders. I think they lost the map. And JDC went like 14 and 19. Yeah. I think 14 of those 14 kills was all Norbert sitting in pit, sitting in graveyard, and they won rounds behind it. So even though his overall performance wasn't that good, there has to be something said for being able to be an effective entry out of T Apartments. It's some of the hardest entry work that you could be signed up for.
Keep an eye on it. That last round, though, seemed easy. Inters would have been that to recover, but doesn't find it. And now, listen, we've got the upgrade here. Cloud9, Shiro, on and off. This AWP has been dominating from the challengers through the legends, and now hopefully into the championship stage. This would be the absolute worst time to lose the likes of Shiro. Even in their attempts to beat, let's say, Greyhound, Shiro was still leaps and bounds above. He's been dragging Cloud9, kicking and screaming through the start of this event, long enough for everybody else to start to activate.
They've interrupted some important protocols here on Banana. We saw the targeted attack on Frozen in the last round that was successful. Here they tried to do it again, but when that window flash came out, they gave up after mollying Bell, and I think they wanted to try to swing on it. Now they're playing without information in a 5v5. But we know Cloud9 are very comfortable in passive setups. Let's see if they can stop this attack.
Ooh, Shiro didn't shoot. We're going to get Nafany off of the oranges, at least deliver one. And utility protocol good. It kept the T's stunned. That shot landed. Dexter's wounded. However, still gets the headshot. It's Nafany in with the hold as bomb goes down and the A site completely cleared. So as Shiro gets popped, we have Nafany deliver. And as we were leading up to the championship stage, we had actually a couple of pop-off maps from Nafany. And as he arrived at the stadium today, you know, James Banks gets in, says, hey, we've got our superstar in-game leader. How do you feel? The first thing he responded with, in-game leader, yes, superstar, no. But
Nafany, in all of their interviews, makes sure to make it a point that he doesn't have expectations. And that's something that he carries with himself. And we look at James talking to Axile. Axile's more comfortable saying, I'm trying to win this thing, man. Yeah. I want this victory, and I see it and I want it. And I think maybe Nafany for himself needs to make sure that he doesn't look too far ahead, respects his opponents, and that might be the way that he keeps his head in the game. And throughout Legends, the Challengers was kind of weak from Nafany throughout Legends, which was actually a very difficult Legends run. Navi and then Faze the first 2 games. He was one of the best players on the roster as an individual. So whatever he's doing, I think he should keep doing it. That round was also great. 2v4 hold on the B site, and they found Exertion lurking once again over on A. They've been using Exertion very aggressively, very frequently, either lurking or entering over on the A side.
Keep eyes on it as yet again he's at the helm of this. Hobbit, previous major champion, graces the server and
Feels like
Cloud9,
yesterday,
doesn't it?
I heard they rolled out the red carpet for him
when he went back to Kazakhstan.
Yes, I think
government met him there. So definitely a hero. JDC, point of contact outside short. We've got nothing on the side of Arch here for C9. It's a pasted setup on the B site. Again, and Exile starts to feel pressure here.
Again, versus these CIS lineups, they're so comfortable playing without info, and I don't give anybody else a break, honestly, when I'm casting, but when it comes to teams like NAVI and Cloud9, if they go full passive, I know they still have a really good plan or a read. In this situation, they're in good position with a double pit to stop a Halls pop as well as any lane split. Now, this is that Arch trap I was talking about earlier, where Mouz have very good dry run protocols, but 25 seconds, they actually can't go Arch anymore.
So now they have to come into what could be the meat grinder. Exile down at the hands of JDC, but Hobbit's right beneath him, pulling him inwards, and enters inside the site, holds it off. Oh, they get murdered by Hobbit. 4 from inside the pit, individual fights, just stutter stepping into him one by one. And for that reason, Hobbit, there's not a bead of sweat on his brow.
Yeah, and you can see him dancing around with that third kill. I mean, he's really just playing the game as if there's nobody else around, not committing to any one big spray, being very calm about that Arch player who's coming around. Now, we did see a spot of brilliance there. JDC, hard kill. Again, so good on these angles. If I was to ask most entries, I think coming up lane, coming out of halls, some of the least fun parts of your job on any map, I would say. And yeah, this whole situation is well handled from there on out, because after JDC gets his kill, Hobbit's like, well, shoot, I wish my teammate got a kill first, then there could be a bait setup. They're not going to expect the double pit, and I'd be able to get 2 maybe on the cross, but he still manages to do the job all by his damn self.
If anything, it's just then Inters that offers Hobbit that exact chance.
Now again, we switch over. Cloud9 actually shoot higher on T side, so one of the few maps where they do better even on T side, despite this, of course, the narrative that they've been their CT comebacks, because of course maps like Overpass and things like that are really highlighting it, and they come up so often in their vetoes.
Bit more of a brazen setup here from Cloud9, looking and peering down Banana, seeing it that's completely clear. Pressing in versus what is the busted Mouz economy.
They weren't bringing the fight down to heroic on Banana like they are right now versus Mouz, so I think they feel confident that they can find Frozen and take him out. And I think the way they view it is if they take out Frozen earlier, then they're going to have a much easier round. Where I think they were less worried, I think, with heroic.
Now this is natural father instincts.
Yeah.
Take care of your kin. Lead them to death as Hobbit primes the incendiary on the Arch. Mouz will finally round that corner.
That is something with these guys. I mean, they're always joking around.
Yes, the mood's always high. Hobbit, ooh, good amount of damage.
Oh, that flash
sets him back up, and he mows down 3 players. Enters in with flash assists in abundance, and Mouz are just gonna get stalled out over towards Arch. D players coming. Exile warming up as they remain in the open. So sure enough, as expected, pistols mean absolutely nothing.
Hobbit remembering his training there, perfect spray control into a perfect flash dodge, into another great spray, never overcommitting at any point of this. Getting some headshots off the corner of the wall, but receiving some too, and so staying alive. Oh my goodness. It really do be your own homie.
Oh God.
Okay. It looks like he'll regret that decision later. Don't worry, we're going to get you home safe.
Yeah, you can't make that guarantee.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's like Hugo out in the ocean. I mean,
yeah, we're trying our best.
Yeah.
Shiro, we're not talking about pressing down into middle. Well, how about that? Presses through the apartments. We talked about JDC being utilized as that apartment entry. He doesn't even get to the CT's apartments. Door locked. And Mouz fretting as they fall into the 5v4.
It's a comfy spot. You know, the entry's down in this round, so C9 can really take a pause, let the round come to them. They were already in the 5v5, willing to chill for a bit. So we've got some of the kind of late round clear out grenades for Car in case they have any type of lurk here. And this buys them a window. Now we see a heavy rotation out of Cloud9, but they leave Shiro over on the B site, and now they'll start to walk it back. One of the symptoms of playing blind, but they still have numbers.
They're going to follow through. Shiro posted, ready to get a second. Flash finds him. NAVI peeks in. He'll get the better of Frozen. Now they're going to go for the boost. Right in the nick of time. Bomb gets stopped by Hobbit. Excellently done through that. And while NAVI's been toppled, it just falls on to Dexter. A valiant attempt here, 1v5. He at least gets that bomb down, but then Inters rotates through. That's 2 frags through the CT smoke. Talk about pressure without even knowing where or when it's coming from. Mouz, that lead, now a tie.
We're getting relatively full-on attacks here from Mouz, where they have lots of HP and grenades. Now we're starting to see Cloud9 find early pickoffs, which is one thing to soften up the attacks. But if you just tuned in today, you would think, oh, this is natural. Cloud9 are coming back into this game. But it has really been no small feat to stop Mouz from getting 9, 10, 11 rounds on T-side Inferno at this event, whether it was Challengers or in Legends. And at the moment, Cloud9's game plan, I feel like, has really come together. We saw the first TK in round number 1 with the failed retake and load time on the bomb and thought, ooh, that's that Cloud9 that NAVI was afraid of seeing today. But these last few rounds have inspired confidence.
Ooh. Frozen, statuesque. But cracking at the seams after that frag. Got a boost outside. C9. Again, just wait. It's going to have to be Mouz to take control of this one, and off of the flash and smoke, they'll press into the porch. Axile rocks him. 2 kills easy. Inter's always there. And honestly, it's a nice clean shot from the lowest HP player of the Mouz camp, but that also gets stopped again at the front of brackets. There is no forward momentum here from Mouz. That one time they get up lane, it was the entire team trying to press in, and again, abrupt halts. When Cloud9 decide to pull the rug out from beneath them, we see Mouz stopped at a certain point, whether that's the cross on CT towards B, again, that A site entry, or in this case, just the brackets.
They picked the line to draw, and they have rarely actually left it up to retakes. So a very salient observation. 14-3 right now for Hobbit. Maybe the most consistent overall. I mean, Shiro had an unbelievable challenger stage. 146 kills in 4 maps. I think 228 kills in 8 maps throughout the entire challenger stage. Numbers that you've never seen before. I mean, I can't count that high. But Hobbit, throughout every stage with a rifle in hand, has really kept up. He was on sale on Fantasy if you missed him.
Thanks for rubbing that in.
I forgot to do mine. So.
Oh, okay. Hobbit, speak of him. Pressured somewhat, but the util's healthy. Minute mark, and Mouz start to carve out some information off the top banana. We've had Cloud9 in recent rounds get away from what was just that coffin and orange setup.
Now, we don't have any mollies to stop the attack, so there's always a threat they come through smokes. Off just goes right into the arms of Shiro.
Easy.
And the flashes to counter on the attack. Hobbit waiting for a push. Ooh. Damage goes in.
Ooh. Oh. Dexter, he's already deep, and they know that op is back there. Shiro manages to get a second on this hold while both the rotates go down. It is Shiro to try and keep C9 inside this B site. Man advantage in the post plant.
My God.
Smoke meeting them at CT. Inters and Axile trying to rotate. They are being flanked. Eventually, JDC will strike them down, assuming that by the time he gets into position, his teammates aren't already dead. Dexter off of his spot. We've got one in this close water, and they opt not to go boosting inwards. They think they can leave, but no, sir. Denied any further exit. Mouz, they will get that entry, and it comes by way of Dexter.
Great round out of Mouz. Another rounds where they have the tools, they have the players to get away with like a full-on exec coming into the site. And again, to stop the attack, there was only smokes. Can be important to have mollies in that position. Here, also important for Frozen to not get tunnel vision trying to join up with the attack. There was trust in the hands of Dexter to make that progress through the site. He found his frags, and they had a very late flash for him as he came into the site to make sure they could kill Quad. He could have died in that moment, absolutely. So you better believe that Mouz are still going to fight. And even though it's been a little streak from Cloud9, Mouz are definitely still in this game.
How nice of them to serve up a reminder.
Cyclone standing behind them. Kind of one of the coaches that you think must be doing a good job.
Right.
Coming up from the Mouz NXT lineup.
Oh, whoa, whoa. Right back at it. Oh, it's deadly. Perfect flash in from Hobbit. Expectant of the wrap from underground. Forze.
See that angle? Exposed to CT, not worried about it though.
All good. And who do you have to support? csgo sees a sliver of exertion, chops his hands right off, and middle belongs to Cloud9. So they'll take that last round win personally, and they decide to throw their heaviest hitters straight down that mid lane. Axile excellently done, looked like nothing but confidence, and I would say even pre-existing information. So ready for that first player to jump back up, but JDC, hold your breath, because he's going off. And while he does get those first two, they'll see that open route, envisioning an attempt to entry over at that B site, 2 versus 5, in what was such a confident first fight from C9.
There's lots of time as well. C9 are reading this pretty damn well. Enters has his full set of utility and is starting to drop the counter utility as well. Mollies go down back site. Dexter, the hero of last round. JDC with the 2 entries now. What can they do?
Ooh, not cross for free. That much apparent. Decides to get Dexter over top, still alive, and enters, of course, lending that critical helping hand. It's a singular point of HP, and exertion waits him out, bullets whizzing by him, but still there is a fight, and it comes by way of Torzi. Exertion gets the better of Hobbit. 1 HP was not enough to keep that one going, but Inters is pinned in the corner, being spammed in from lane. They've managed to crack it open, but they have to cross. Ooh, and csgo misses the first shot, would have a chance at the second, loses the tracking, takes a chance. And what do you know? Mouz have pressed through in what looked like such a dead situation.
Unreal spam in a cold from lane. That was real beautiful. That was one way to guarantee that trade, and while he didn't get the kill, I mean, it did something like 90 damage. Torzi had to fight tooth and nail just to get out of the holes, and exertion from the pit. There are some time left on these trades to allow Mouz back into the round, but they're the ones with less players, right? And dislodging pit after all of that efforts, I think, was the most important thing. So they could finally face forward onto the site, face forward onto csgo, who was coming through Arch. They understood, making sure that they didn't overthink that situation. They knew the most important player in Axel had to die first, and then they could move forward with taking more duels. There it is, a good spot. We've got an emphatic Hobbit. I say emphatic loosely here. Hobbit, of course, just anytime he's looking a little bit energized, I'm going to call it emphatic.
That's fair.
But getting into the conversation, it's actually csgo who's been the most emphatic, I would say, on the tack pauses. Would love to hear what kind of input he has.
NAVI trying to press forward. He's in the right position. Just a matter of hitting it. Just a matter. And it gets taken away from him. Luckily, csgo set up there to trade it, but this could just transition Mouz into a more aggressive A-hit. And when they hit this site, they tend to succeed. Inters predictably in the same position. Hobbit decides to get hella aggressive. And all the while, we start to get that arch wrap. But look at your mini-map. CT surrounding this setup. And Hobbit, he's going to hear Torzi leave from Boiler, ready as he watched smoke for a moment, slipping in between it all. And Mouz don't know what's going on. Torzi pulls the trigger, instantly dead just as quick, and JDC will find Hobbit by surprise.
Low in the sight is Inters with 46 health. He's tucked into a good spot. Rotation.
Same spot.
Yeah, the help is coming. I don't think he's getting spammed this time around, but he might just straight up lose.
He's a little deeper in. He gets the best of JDC. Dexter's going to burn him out of the open, but you always have to be worried about that op, and Inters doesn't move. Dexter straight up gets the kill. Shiro's going to start to round back around short. Dexter, gun in hands, but back turned. And with that chance, Shiro will not miss. He strikes him down to give Cloud9 that 7-6 advantage.
Yeah, that's well done from Shiro. It's another pretty precarious spot here for Cloud9, even with the opening duels in place. Okay, they didn't actually get it this time around, but you saw at the bottom of logs right there, they're sitting to wait for them to come through the smoke and dodge the flash and set themselves up for the perfect kill. And it still doesn't come their way, but Shiro finds the refrags. Shiro finds the refrags. Shiro has been consistent. Shiro's hitting the hard shots. And this round belongs to him, I want to say. I don't think there's a single score line in this half. You know, barring like a 13-2, that would make me believe the game is over when we switch over. Both teams are going to put up a hell of a fight.
Every step of the way. JDC, tough spot here. But again, it's variation from Cloud9, and I really like that we alluded to the JDC setup. The specialism from him, but yeah, poke the bear, and it will tear you limb from limb.
What?
You welcome that one. Here's the press. NAVI fully blind. Wow, somehow survives. It's a pistol out, a flash in front. Dexter gets him down. And Shiro, well, he kind of gets drawn into the open, missing one or two shots and giving Hobbit a chance to just clean this up. It looks scary, but he holds. Frozen a little bit further back. This could actually catch Hobbit off. No, sir. Nah, too sharp. Hobbit continuing in his winning ways, now 17-7. And it's going to be Mouz with, well, about more of the same. Inters inside bomb site, Axile up towards Graveyard. And a nice slow flank coming through from Cloud9. Exertion awaits it. Unfortunately for him, he can't go help Torzi because he's worried about that flank. If Torzi can get one kill, then maybe they can get themselves flying into the A site for what feels like a fifth time. But they'll pull the cord on this one. They're going to give it up. They're going to allow Cloud9 to establish that 8th, and it just becomes about saving this op and AK.
Yeah, a little awkward, but yeah, the Torzi op's just too expensive to get back, so they'll give it a go to try to lock up a 7th round at minimum. And man, it's been a pretty competitive game, I would say. Like, you know, if this ends up 9-6, you still got to credit Mouz for the quality of. Oh, is that Oni Pixel in that hood? Is that what it is? Okay. Recognize that face anywhere. This is
just sit down. Sit down.
Wow. You can't help but laugh in that situation.
No. Wrecked.
It was literally somehow Axile has perfect crosshair placement when there's not even an angle. There's not even an angle there, and he still figures out where the head is.
Little bargain by for Mouz to close out the 15th. Already again with some presence inside brackets. We've got Axile up in apartments. And JDC, you know, we give him credit where it's due. Played great, exceeded expectations even, but I think that last round is really just a sign of things that could come. If once we swap sides, it's more of that. Minute left in this offense here from Mouz. Can't forget, they put 4 rounds up before Cloud9 got any. And then Rifles really turned the tail of this one.
NAVI right now is getting a lot of free play off of this spot on the half wall. And they're still setting up to get him back. Mauser obviously is too smart to let this go for free. But with so much time burned, Mouz are getting shut out of the idea of taking the B side. I think NAVI is smiling internally right now at the information gain. Oh my God, with the swing!
Oh, old M4A1S would get it. but he finds that pocket, and it feels like just because he was given all that space, that little, you know, sanctuary towards top banana, no wonder he gets comfortable enough to slide out and to chop them down. Would have been a 3-player mowdown, and now Exile feeling as though he can go forward as he damn well pleases. That A site's actually wide open for the taking, and what could have been a clean entry versus Hobbit would have let Frozen in. Instead, it's the burden bearer to take it. 19 kills, 7 deaths from Hobbit, and an excellent CT side from Cloud9. That is what we've come to expect from them. Let's see what they can offer on the offense. It's a stellar CT side from Cloud9, exactly what we would have expected coming into this series. And Mouz, well, they started strong, 4-0. Made you think for a second, that maybe they'd be stepping onto this stage and, you know, turning it all upside down. But they've got their work set out for them. A defensive half on Inferno isn't something that we won't expect Mouz to put up. It just really boils down to Cloud9 and whether the individuals of Hobbit can continue to dominate, because that's what he just did in the first 15. Leaps and bounds above everybody else, and even the off conversation slides the way of Cloud9. Frozen, he'll find Inters, Forze on the other side, applying pressure versus the bomb as he currently holds alone. Oh, but Shiro, that's 2 on the side of the smoke, completely cuts off what Mouz had hoped to get going. That flank around mid, no sir. Bomb down and Exile point blank, make sure it's C9, double digits right away.
Yeah, now it gets a little scary for Mouz, who needed a little comeback, of course. They're used to actually winning off of their T sides, and I think on their CD side are still quite competent, but Cloud9 are no slouches. Like this is something that they understand. And again, when we watched them play against Heroic, they pulled off a T side that I could not have ever predicted to see. It was like we were in 2020 online in their room with their big couch behind them with Groove on the player cam, chilling, floating there at his own desk in the quiet. Yep. That's how well Cloud9 were playing in an arena versus Heroic, who before they played against Cloud9 in that 2-0 matchup looked insane.
In a head-to-head that always delivered.
That's something that's stuck with me in the days between Legends and now when it comes to talking about Cloud9 coming into playoffs. And we'll soon see if the T-side kind of gives us that same level of substance that we saw versus Heroic. Incredible stuff if you missed it. Worth going back to watch. Or maybe you'll just see it again right here. We'll see.
Yeah, right. That's what we hope. Current B setup's nothing but Frozen. Still a young man, and yet so much experience on this roster. Longest standing member. That nade, yeah, that's gonna welcome a ton of damage versus Frozen. All he wanted to do was chuck a frag. Instead, he's sitting on a single point of HP as Cloud9 flood through this B site. Nice deagle damage though. Exertion can play the same game. He'll take Shiro down to 2 HP.
Frozen, more maps played than all 4 of his teammates combined.
Insane.
How many, and he's 20, how many can say that? Frozen looks like a rookie, you know, and it's like he has been one of the least talked about, consistent top players in the game. And that's partially because he's never had a team good enough to give him a spot in the top 20. Your team has to be good enough, even if you are good enough. And Mouz Sports have always donated their not donate. I mean, they got some money from it. They try to stay cash positive. They've given away players to other teams. They've seen Nico, they've seen Kerrigan, they've seen Rops, they've seen Christian. Lots of great players in history have come through Mouz Sports, but they've all also left And Frozen, as the last kind of remnant of one of the major lineups that was the most consistent carry, has stuck on as a player who was just like Rops. He didn't get as much attention as Rops did because of the FPL accusations that Rops was cheating, all of that stuff. But Frozen just quietly chugged along as a player who, as was talked about in our interview before the game started, you know, he was grinding through FPL.
Egoless.
Diamond to Masters when he was 12 years old.
Yeah.
He's a phenom. He is a phenom. And this year, I mean, I think we're almost certainly going to get him in the top 20. He's been great. Right now, I mean, maybe a weird time to talk about it. 8-13. But if they come back on the CT side, you better believe it's going to have a lot to do with him.
So far, Mouz, again, this is just the recycled buy of the last round, so we call it a freebie. Couldn't stop C9 from pressing into that B site. Not with Frozen. So little HP so quickly. C9 will make you sweat. They will press into all different positions. Your utility will be gone, and you wouldn't have seen a soul before all of a sudden all hell breaks loose. And right now, it's looking like Arch side's going to be that battleground. Torzi, a talking point.
Nice tracking.
And he gets away with it, plus some damage onto NAVI. He's going to go right back in. Second servings, but he turns his back to NAVI, and Shiro had already got back around the corner. Dexter fired his feet. It's going to leave a man inside sight isolated. JDC, what can you offer? 25 seconds, a great distraction out from Library. Sight player seen, Axile's low, right there with NAVI, but Shiro takes up the reins and charges through the sight.
Axile's spray is nothing short of unbelievable sometimes. He adjusts back about 45 degrees and makes it look like his mouse is in the starting position. Like, yeah, it's just a player who has half armor and a pistol shooting at him, but that's the Axile we have come to see really frequently this year. Maui called him best rifler of the year. He's not even the best rifler on the team right now at this major, but in the grander scheme of things, yeah. And in terms of higher peaks, I think if you asked Hobbit directly, he'd be like, yeah, Axile. Yeah, he's the guy who I expect in the beginning. When I saw that NAVI comeback match, 16-14, Axile 33 kills.
Yeah.
You know, but outside of that, has struggled here and there. You know he can do it and regularly is consistent, but Cloud9 doubters at this major have brought up that Axile's and Shiro's playoff stats. And it really is about betting against the past when it comes to them. Did we see enough in Legends where there was an audience, where there was pressure, where they were, you know, start out challenger 0-2 down on the brink of death constantly, had one of the hardest Legends stages possible? Was that enough to show that they are fine now on LAN? That felt like a playoffs to me, so that's kind of the question. Did it for them?
Add to it the stack of experience they gained in Dallas, where they said they have never felt like they were more at home. It all comes together here in Rio. We've got guns up from Cloud9. Mouz, let's see it. Right now it's a little bit of banana pressure. And the apartment's entirely under the feet of C9. They decide on their own to walk away, and Dexter, well, he's looking for a little something, as was Frozen, but with presence now being heard, he's gonna fall away from this. They could try to press through. NAVI's looking at the entry. Nice grenade though. Axile dropped to 46. It's gonna make it hard for him to follow up. Oh, Frozen and Torzi. Oh, it is all too easy. Woo. Mouz, they just have Cloud9 trickle out of a smoke in front of them, uninspired, no players blind. They put them where they need to be, when they need to be, and with it, Mouz a 7th.
Clearly, Mouz knew exactly what was coming right there. They were pressed up both against Oranges and CT, ready to fight. Torzi jumps Coffins as well, looking for this duel. So coming out of both sides of the smoke, it's a novel concept. We've seen teams try to do it. I don't think you're often going to want entry into B site having to run through a smoke, but they had a game plan for it. It just did not work out here at all. Look at the CT swarming on them. The trifecta of players, and without any of them dying. There's no way to kind of make dealing with that crossfire any easier. So one player enters, saves an AK with enough money to buy on everybody else for Cloud9, and they've still got this 5-round lead in the game. So I think no sweat off the brow. Nice on Cloud9. Sorry, nice on Mouz Sports, most importantly, for holding utility, using it at the right time.
Looked like all the internal timings on that last round was just all Mouz. There's a life here on the CT side. That much we know. That's what one round win can tell us.
There it is, the pulse. Oh, that's a married to the game moment right there. Okay. Respect.
Yeah.
Just a little fun. They were both in on it. And look who's in on Banana. Frozen. He's getting Snoopy here. He was the guy on the attack, trying to do the same thing. And Axile's close up here. Oh my God, Dexter.
Let's go.
My God.
Finds Hobbit trying to just prance around the mid setup. Frozen, very much stuck in behind sandbags. NAVI trying to hone in on him. Axile's been hit. Look at this. Look at all the damage stacking up against Cloud9. And Frozen still just thrives on top until NAVI runs in. Lucky to be alive. But his nade just bounced back. It hit the door frame. An unlucky smoke pings off of the wall. And with that, they can't continue forward here. NAVI would have loved to try to find another kill. He's the only member of C9 this round to offer anything. And that utility bombardment on Banana was the demise of Cloud9 in round 20.
Gotta appreciate that little one-way smoke that Frozen throws for the in front of the sandbags. Gets up on top of it. Doesn't get 2 kills, of course. NAVI's the one to find the trades, but they made that very hard to approach him. And the smoke missing is one thing, but we also had Torzy miss a very easy shot. He had a great setup for that attack coming through CT spawn. Felt like he was going to win that round straight off. And it kicks off right here with Dexter in the hard angle. NAVI playing well is an important storyline here for Cloud9. Oh, there we go.
Redemption.
There we go. It was all a ruse. It's all scripted here in Rio.
Honestly, with Cloud9...
We got Furia into playoffs 3-0. You think that was an accident?
No. We got Cloud9 being beaten by Greyhound and then not dropping a map yet.
To kind of set up the old Cloud9.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You don't have to miss the old Cloud9 anymore.
They're back.
Straight to the go, Cloud9. There it is, Shiro. Italian Shiro.
Yeah.
Coming in with the comms.
Look at him go.
Red beans and ravioli, Shiro. Talk to them.
Into the double fist bump. You berate them, and then you build them back up again. Shiro, the foundation of Cloud9's firepower throughout this event. Again, just never before seen consistency.
I think he's a Chad as well.
Trying to take him to a whole new level. Trying to prove that Cloud9 can do it at majors. In Antwerp, they fell in a spectacularly unexpected fashion. Redemption in Rio thus far. Dexter, love it. Gets aggressive, plays into the apartments. He's got players right outside, but they have seen him. So Dexter knows when a game is too dangerous. And he starts to peel himself away. But Shadow spotted. Hobbit, easy, gonna gun him down. He's trying to reach for that M4. And sure enough, adds it here to the collection of rifles. Cloud9 will swing in round 21.
Yeah.
Shiro didn't see anybody.
Now it's about adding time to the clock. They picked up a gun where they didn't know if they would find one. This kill, oh man, Mouz Sports. This is their map pick. They just won a great round and a couple of rounds here on CT to make this comeback. But you better believe, even with the guns here, they're going up against one in the site. Exertion playing for retake protocols, and they're going to come through this.
That they will. This time with a smoke in front, but at least the incendiary holds them back for a couple extra seconds. It allows Frozen to add himself and really sets up Exertion to shine. Quick trade back from Hobbit.
Oh, they waited. Another gun goes down.
Stalled and stuttered. And still they follow through.
No one in CT to nade the plant. Mouz Sports, one of the highest retake percentages, the highest retake percentage of any team here at the Major.
Well, let's see it. Inter's still standing on the ledge. Axile pressed into the pit. Hobbit showing nothing as Shiro continues to hold flank. There will not be a CT from this direction. JDC takes it into his own hands, gets wrecked by Hobbit as he finally decides to emerge from back sight. And while Torzi's connecting shots at this point, they're all coming at him. 2 hit, and Shiro, well, he'll push C9 over the edge into that 13-8 realm. But can we say it again? Hobbit, every time they need him, steps up from behind quad, gets himself, again, a little buffer, 22 and 12.
Yeah, and just his Tech 9 frag, not only the opening kill, the closing frag, or one of them, and just hunting down this gun is too much. It's way too much to give up on an anti-eco. This is tough sledding for Mouz. It really did start to, I feel like, win some confidence back and scare Cloud9 a little bit. But after a round like that, 13-8 now, it suddenly feels like it's Cloud9's game to lose once again. Now the CTs will call a timeout. They've actually got some calculating to do because they have money, but there are going to be some concessions. Poor exertion here on just an MP9. The out from Torzi hasn't been, actually had a couple of rounds. It's just that he takes a high percentage of shots and he still manages to have a big round in there, but he's not hitting all of them and he's missing some easy ones. So it makes him hard to kind of figure out whether or not he's doing enough. Quite a great team around him. So this team isn't all about the op like he thought it would be when Torzi joined the team. And that much is cool.
Yeah, that kind of was like the trailer for Torzi when he first joined. That's what we all came to expect. It's what we got as well, to be fair, right? A few months of just excellent play.
Psychologically, the other problem for Mouz in this round specifically, it is going to be crystal clear how much they have to go up against. This is the first in Cloud9 we're talking about. They know if they win this round, it's like almost literally match point. So if they weren't sweating enough already, I mean, they're going to have to take a shower after this round because you know they're going to squeeze it for everything that it's worth. And that means trying to even get as many kills as possible, even if they lose. They're keeping Mouz on the brink with every little bit of strategy on top of having a big advantage straight off. And now they've got 3 attracted to B. We're looking for a B retake right now in this in-between timing, and Cloud9 are trying to beat that timing with A hit.
It looks like they are going to, assuming that they can follow through, assuming that the double Balk setup doesn't shred them. JDC turns away, still he gets Nappany. The fallback's there for him. Dexter in with another. Inters hunts the second kill, but JDC awaits him. It's such little HP for Inters that JDC comes up with the reload, and Hobbit, well, point blank, he gets wrecked. Shiro turns it back towards short, and now on the escape, oh, it's over top the wall.
Wow.
John De Castro puts up 3 and keeps Mouz in this with, as you alluded to, what's most important, weapons, right? Economy on the line. They're moving forward with it.
That was a chance right there. 2 double on balcony with a bait, and the first player scaling sees both actually. Nappany tries to corroborate this information, but JDC staying alive in pit underneath the guise of Inters, Hobbit dying in the smoke right here. Everything just falls apart. There was no real advantage for Mouz when that attack came on. Cloud9 got them to stay B. They beat the retake timing. They hit the A site. They flashed the 2 players that were sitting there, and they still couldn't win. And now, well, now Mouz Sports have a chance to get into that dignified territory of double digits.
Couple of flashbangs for Axile. Exertion justifiably taking a bunch of space for free. He sits within those smokes. This is going to keep Mouz on high alert. Torzi, missed shot on the jump over. Dexter being set up. Ooh, nice and easy. 2 off of the M4. Shiro with the Glock out. Looking for a little more damage here. It's all going to count towards something, but JDC swings out, and that's Mouz onto a 10th. Yeah. C9, again, it's a lead, and it's a buyback soon enough. But for the time being, Mouz are putting up what they had to.
Yeah, you know, they're still working the map really well. They still look good. I don't think they're at all worried, but Mouz are proving they've still got. I think the most important thing, actually, funnily enough, is just Mouz to prove they can keep up with players who, well, they'll have multiple instances of top 20 players on the team of Cloud9, right? I think that's the actual thing right now. It's the Cyclones' first major playoffs against Groove. They're shooting for tournament victories. They already won Dallas this year. I mean, it's about keeping up 1-for-1 with the guy on the other side of the map. That's in your role. Exactly. You know, it's Exertion to Axal. It's Torji to Shiro. There's not one single player where you're like, Mouz have the better version. And well, what they have shown is they got here because they've been the better team. In that previous round where they get outplayed and they still win, you've got to do that in order to beat good teams, because you will get outplayed sometimes, and they pulled it off. So let's see if they can really set things in motion and take away Cloud9's money once again.
Deadly rifle combo. Exertion and Frozen playing around Banana, but again, Cloud9 just sit on the other end of it. We've seen them stuffed at the B site. We've seen them follow through with the B site. It boils down to how much health they have as they get to the front of it and whether that closest support is in position. Frozen already moving back over.
Sometimes you force a team to gamble if they get tired of going through those protocols, because we saw C9 try to cheat them last time. So instead, Mouz are not playing 3B. They're ready for this A hit. They've got eyes on mid.
It's going to be a crunch. Dexter eyes up. Ready for the first fight. Nice and clean. Won't be able to finish off Hobbit, but now it's Torzi's chance. We can't see missed shots, and we don't. He finishes the little that was left of Hobbit. JDC presses in. Woo! Best enters heads up. And with 25 seconds, they're going to try to get into the bomb site. Axile has not been given a target. Torzi decides to take the initiative, and Shiro simply has to walk away.
Good call here from Mouz. Perfect position. Even though Dexter goes 1-for-1, he gets the info. Torzi stays alive on lane, deep angle. They're waiting for the fight. They're not trying to peel back and go for retakes and wait for rotation, so you have to appreciate that. Mouz knew what they were signing up for. And it wasn't the strongest defense to kick things off, but it was good enough. And that final molly getting missed on top of the halls to make sure that JDC can't get back out is what just ends the attack completely. Good moves here from Torji. Easy one here on Axel, not letting him be the aggressor. And it is a 2-round game.
There's nothing but an AK in the hands of Shiro.
That's got to feel good.
Oh, nice headshot.
Woo, what a trade. Actually, Exertion. Wow, I don't even know how he did that.
Kept it clinically clean. Smoke down again, keep him staved off, keep him starving here for anything. There's no rifles, there's no armor. Ooh, but not everybody needs it. Hobbit, hell of a shot. NAVI just runs around the corner, tries to grab the gun instead. And that'll be one member of Mouz reconfirmed. But seeing as it's JDC, who tends to lend himself to apartments, I think it makes absolute sense for Cloud9 to try and press through here. They don't have a flash to get out from pit, so JDC should, emphasis, should be able to just sit in that bomb site. But as he goes for the reload, that's when they start to trickle out. C9 have found timing.
Hobbit again.
Double deagle. What a round. And Exertion, well, now he's met by smoke. This was Shiro with an armored AK and the rest of Cloud9 with nothing.
Not again. Not for 14. Mouz have to think about this. Gap on the smoke, but no mistakes right now. They can come into the site.
They're going for it, and Axile's just waiting for the jump up. That's all he anticipates. It's all he wants. He is staring at the sky, praying, and now, oh, he jumps at the same time. Exertion's weapon simply better. He's gonna pick up the kill. We've got this push in. We've got a smoke. We've got cover, but we've also got Hobbit, and leave it to him to hold the burden of all.
There he is.
He stands taller than anybody else and shreds them one after another. 4 kills on an unarmored deagle to put C9 on 14.
Posterized with a $700 gun. Wow. So many targets pinned to the wall. But we're talking about 3 shots, 4 shots straight up. Hobbit hits 27, Cloud9 hit 14. And Mouz hit the brink of defeat, at least emotionally. They're throwing it all in on this round.
Talk about impact. In addition to what was the Gambit youngsters, the one experienced player added to this formula to elevate them to a whole new level. The only major champion in this server with the world-class 4K on the Deeg. Now still working with pieces. MP9 FAMAS, double M4 AWP, and C9 maybe having felt what was once an open balcony. They're going to try to find that timing again. It worked out wonderfully last attempt. Dexter's MP9 is being helped out by JDC, but Dexter's dead, and JDC still looking to hang on, won't be able to, not with Hobbit firing that sharp. Another headshot comes through, and a bomb plant now inevitable. We've got this press in from middle. Exertion trying to puff his chest, trying to serve up the distraction, so maybe timing can lend its hand to Frozen, to Torzi, to Mouz. But silently they scuttle away, back to underneath the floorboards. At this point, all they want is safety, and Cloud9 have broken through that A site yet again. 15 locked in. And 4 map points on Inferno.
Oh, all the halls pop right there, and that's Mouz's full investment. I mean, something changed. Hobbit hit that 27th frag, that Deagle round into the next. A very clean and fast call. It's not thorough. They don't work too much map control. They just go for it, and NAVI out front. They take pit. CTs get flustered. And Cloud9 are about to win Mouz's map pick.
Oh, NAVI eats that flash, turns back at it as Axile's throwing the entry support. Doesn't matter, got wind of Dexter. And the AK graced him with a headshot. Last timeout called here from Mouz. Whether they win this round or not, Cyclone no longer having any chances to just pump those brakes. The buy's gonna be abysmal.
Yeah, they can try to predict what Cloud9 want to do, but they've had so much variety in the way that they've attacked. It'll be proved to be difficult, I think. They figure this out. They got the money for Torzi's favorite gun. That's something. Well, it's getting scary. It's gotten scary. It's getting desperate.
The most horrifying piece of it all is Hobbit. And yet again, here he goes. Unwinding onto Exertion top banana. Frozen lies in wait. Look at this, peeling already all of Mouz away from that A site. They are so worried about the follow through here from Cloud9, and honestly, it's not a bad call, not for the time being. Interruptive utility thrown out, and silence from C9.
It's about to be a dogfight here on the B side.
Torzi lands it, but NAVI survives. And having seen that op, is it enough to peel it all back? Are they going to send any kind of a scout party over towards that A site?
They seem so nervous about the fact that Torzi just showed his face there after the rifle went down at the top of Banana. But on the scout here is NAVI, and I'm not talking about the weapon. He's going to try to gain some information and either get a kill, find out how many are here, or bring his team back.
Time is critical.
Yeah, we'll see if he catches this.
Looking to follow through with still 3 members of Mouz in position. Ooh, the flashes find their home, but it's Axile to take down Frozen. Meanwhile, that A fight goes down the way of Mouz, so now they fixate into B. Hobbit, with such little health, continues, but Dexter's back at it, and he gets chopped off by Shiro. It needs to be Torzi, and he was so preoccupied on the other side of this map that you'd think he has no footing left in this one. Mouz's pick of Inferno, he hopes, and another miss could spell disaster. A second chance at life versus Hobbit, but there comes Shiro from the corner, and there goes Cloud9 to map 2 with one already.
Even though Cloud9 have a massive win streak outside of one loss to Liquid, kind of destroy everybody on this map, it's simply because their CT side is just that damn good. So they'll start off on T. We'll see if they can put up a better half than normal, and we'll see what they've learned. Because I've been watching closely at all of their T sides and as it's kind of iterated versus a lot of these top rosters. And for Mouz, they're trying to beat C9's map pick. It's a great place for Cloud9 to go to end this series.
It really does feel that way. Having to do more than Faze did, that just seems like a daunting task. A cold statement, but hey, exertion. He'll have to deal with that in the second half. As far as CT side, he's going to press the dual Berettas into short. Axile, nice and patient there. Really let Hobbit go out on his own.
That was sweaty, wasn't it?
It was kind of gross. It was kind of dirt nasty.
Imagine trying that hard.
But, I mean, when you're crawling around in the sewage waters of Overpass, you got to get nasty.
They were actually setting up the same B attack where Hobbit comes in first, entering off a short. Now they have to improvise a bit, but all the pieces are in place.
JDC to the left side of Graffiti. Inter is going to plant that bomb with a nade destined for him. Ooh, the second finds its home. Frozen chucks 2 and gets them both, then boosts. So man advantage here in the hands of Mouz. They try to press forward. It's a gush. That's certainly not going to help Frozen. So Torzi, maybe it's on him. But Axile's found his hands onto a beautiful pair of Berettas, presses outwards, finishes off Frozen, slides back into the short side, confirms both CTs, continues to tear up their HP, and Axile is simply better with those guns. But Torzi, it's a tip, it's a tap, and it comes down to time. This pistol belongs to Mouz.
Oh, he's locked it up. He's made it happen. The cleanest second kill right there from Torzi. Wow, they absolutely needed that. It didn't seem like Axile was going to stop. When he first pushed off a short, got the kill into spawn, it felt like it was all over. Shiro is playing games right here just saying, I'm going to come in, see if you're on the bomb, see if you stuck it, try to go for the fake diffuser full, and then I'm going to tuck and you're screwed. You're out of time. Torzi has one chance, one opportunity. That's a good one. Whoa. Whoa, Torzi into the op on round 2, but into the buy of Cloud9, who got a bomb plant. What is this?
Yo, we're getting weird.
Like the most serious buy I've ever seen from 2 teams in round number 2 of a map.
Torzi being set up to succeed with the op early. Mac 10 jumps in, almost besting exertion, but Frozen gives the cover. JDC locks this in. 3 frags off of the pillar. Peaks on both ends. Bomb hits the dirt, and that buy early from Cloud9 now relies on Shiro to go God mode. Nice read on the flank. Dexter barely standing, and that's really the tale of this. Frozen also lucky to be alive. And Shiro taken down to 40. He'll get his headshot, but JDC is not too far away. 4 kills for JDC in round 2.
That's massive. And again, we talk about JDC's T sides in particular. Very good entries. He put up some pretty miraculous site defenses on CT as well. First outsiders on this map, that was something interesting. It was a cool place where they were able to take outsiders, and people have been continuously testing them on Overpass. We know that they could play it in the past, but they got Norbert, they got Fame, and we're trying to see what their map pool looks like now. And we found that outsiders were able to piece them up, you know, overall. But inside of some spots, we saw some good rounds out of Mouz by the way of JDC side holds.
Torzi's going to give cover here to Dexter, who leans in. Exertion just got rocked by the Desert Eagle. And Torzi now awaits the pop over top. Yeah, he's reading it. Oh, they waited too long to come around the corner, so he sees it big picture. It already starts to claim some kills on this AWP. If there was ever a time for this sniper to come online and to do it early, it's map 2 versus C9.
We got the coolest part of all of this for people who have been watching since 2020 is Mouz, we're Mouz NXT. They got JDC Exertion, Torzi, got to promotion to this roster. But Cloud9 were the trailblazers when it came to flipping the main roster. And in fact, that was driving the narrative of why didn't Mouz pick up everybody and bring them up to the main roster? Well, I think the main reason was forze. You can't simply replace him. But when we looked at Cloud9, Gambit youngsters to Gambit, they did that. And the cool part about this map is Overpass was their best map. Axile and Shiro on the A side of Overpass was the story and a big reason they pulled out some of their biggest wins and ultimately got that promotion. Just flipped the main lineup. What a brave move that was made back then. Seems obvious now.
Right.
And now we get to see these two teams going head-to-head in a top 8 at a major. You can't write a more beautiful story.
Ooh, nice flash. Kept Torzi out of it for multiple seconds. But then NAVI still finds himself slain. Torzi in a tough spot. We get the spam coming out from the B site, so Hobbit will be turned away from this. Hobbit, nicely done. Lines up a little bit more damage into Torzi on the escape. However, Torzi getting back just bolsters this B bomb site. And this defense, well, we'll see if it can stand the onslaught of Cloud9's AKs. No NAVI included. Counter-terrorists happy to press. Look what it nets them. JDC down to 49, but already with a pickup versus Hobbit. And it's not that dominant Hobbit from Inferno that jumps into the server early on within Overpass. 0 and 4 so far.
When we watched the Faze match, I think the most annoying part was that Cloud9, it felt like we're going to go for contact explodes because that's what would work for them the most, where they struggled in most defaults and stuff on T side. But then what happened was they didn't do that. They kept trying to defaults. They threw in very few of those pocket plays, and they ended up losing the half dramatically, right? And they made that giant comeback in the second half, but that doesn't excuse getting 4 rounds in total in the first. And so I wondered, coming into this game, Overpass again, are Cloud9 going to try to kind of chew on granite and make this T side work the way they want it to work? Address some of their problems and defaults and prove that they can do it that way? Or are they just going to just jump for what they know has got them through a half in the past? And right now, Mouz Sports, they look really prepared for that first version of their game.
Yeah, to assume that things would just go swimmingly would be a dangerous, dangerous idea. Nice forward position here for Mouz. I love everything about it. But the timing, that, well, nearly didn't work out. Exertion still gets the better end of it. A little bit more damage done. Frozen slides out. Ooh, and it's 2 clean headshots. But NAVI, oh, he's been spotted. And he just got taken down to 19 HP. Won't be able to find the upgrade, you'd think. But still, with that flash now, has hands on the M4. 3 bullets. 3 bullets. Needs the reload. And knows it. A flash and a desperation jumps across, and now he's going to get pressed in from short. Again, the bullets are simply not here. You cannot kill 2 players with 3 shots. And so Dexter finishes him off to give Mouz that 5-0 CT side.
It's a clean one, man. That's good. We get staged. First of all, let's just compliment Mouz here. The setup's perfect for a B-side attack. They have the 2 players, monster side, ready for anything to come heavy towards B. But not only that, those guys are imbued with confidence because on the A side, we've got deep map control. A rifler staged up inside a playground. They've got the top of stairs covered for the rotations. They know it's B until further notice. And Mouz and Cloud9 don't go try to push them back. Who's Cyclone going to kiss? Huh? I think that would be...
Taking applications?
Yes, I mean, hey, if I was down there. All right.
Oh, I like that, NAVI. I like that. Dangerous little game. Just said, we'll see. But nothing nets from it. So we've got Axile, 6 kills. Next up, Shiro 2, and the Cloud9 camp just kind of waiting to get this ball rolling. Mouz already ferocious bits of aggression. Look, this is just a couple guns, but Shiro's gonna swing for the fences, and as he does so, sets up Axile to at least even this out. These are retrievable guns as well, right? The rest of Mouz's pack are nowhere nearby to stop it. So by going for this, and by Shiro hitting what he had to on the scout, you'd think Inters gets an upgrade, maybe. He's still a little passive back by Playground. Exertion's got a great spot. Only his head really popping over. And now Shiro, yeah, he's gonna miss the first one, but AK now in hand. Had a chance to leave. It's the long press from Torzi. He's gonna blindside Inters every day of the week. Now the question is, can Shiro do the same to him that was just done to Inters moments ago?
Torzi yet to die, but in the most vulnerable spot yet. His assistant's coming up the stairs is a bit behind and will turn. Now he'll go down, 8-1. Shiro knows where he came from, so he's going to follow into his past. But actually takes a hard right down the bathrooms. Exertion would have heard this.
Yeah, Shiro. Oh, wait! Okay, Exertion, cold as ice.
Jeez.
Sits there for a second, because Shiro, and that's what you've got to fear, right? Those moments from Shiro, knows how to clutch.
Making this expensive was important. We just had 2-3 players over 10K to start off round number 7, and now they have to rebuy, so it really keeps them in check. Cloud9, we're getting what we're used to. But it doesn't change the facts. No matter what happens for them to start over past games, they win. They win because they have 1 loss in overtime to Team Liquid. No shame losing to Team Liquid. Outside of that, it's their best map by far. 7-1. With some big scalps. All right. Let's see if they try it again.
Ooh, missed shot.
Let's 2 cross. Op gets spotted, which means now you can just run long. You can't necessarily turn the corner.
What?
But you do cheat the clock. What just happened right there?
Maybe Dexter tried to wiggle?
Oh my God.
Maybe he wanted to back up alongside Torzi. I'm not sure, but Shiro slams him against the wall. And Dexter will call from the sidelines. Axile incredibly passive here towards T-spawn. Frozen, thinking about getting into shenanigans. He's going to hear this moving back.
Yeah.
Oh, Frozen. They're looking. Oh, he finds one. But that's a ton of information, bomb included. And you'd think maybe Axile could actually just put pedal to the metal, sprint this into the B site. Obviously cautious because they just don't know, but that timing was there for the taking.
Yeah, and now they have to create a new one, right? If they go too fast here, it's way too obvious 2 CTs will be in place. If they wait a long time, well, they might have not enough time to, oh my God, comfortably. And they're just walking out onto this site. There's 2 on short.
Balls.
They're actually being held into this by Hobbit as well.
One, but not the second. Now Exertion also back turn, so Hobbit pieces it together. There we go. For a second, if Exertion had just kept watching Connector, then he's going to come out anticipating JDC. Oh, and Torzi. Wow. Okay. Parting gift. Keeping those numbers high on this CT side, but Hobbit already going for what will be a clear of this AWP. They want to take them down as C9 establish their first.
That was quite a clever call. Now we have seen C9 keep trying to get out Monster. Most of the time, Mouseports are 5v5, 4v5, whatever, and have 2 players on the right side from their perspective on the Monster. When there's that CT setup, you kind of know you're going to win. Like the whole point of the T side is pretty much dislodge those players so you can take Monster, so you can put pressure on the B side. So I think right here the call from NAVI is that op setup, that aggressive A setup, okay. That's one thing. They get a kill with Shiro, a hard one on Dexter, who's supporting in the B site. All right. If they're rotating back, which they might very quickly, well, they still can't get right side Monster. They still can't get into the very good positions to defend B. So why don't we just walk out? But of course, it's not a one-dimensional play. There are still an extra layer here in Hobbit with the well-timed lurk. you know, it's not a selfish lurk right there. It's,
no.
He comes out as soon as he gets some info. He tries to get into the mix, and he doesn't let anyone go.
Oh, missed Molotov. We see those mistakes. Cloud9 looking rambunctious here. Hobbit feeling better now that he's got kills on the board. And Torzi's going to miss that snapshot down. Doesn't mean he's going to shy away, though. He'll have another chance to deliver if they walk into this crosshair. Oh, what? Shiro!
Did that bullet come out of his shoulder?
Just bends one around the bathrooms.
Jesus.
And instantly, just like that last round, they transition into this B hit. Difference being no frozen deep in connector, no info for Mouz. So what do? They actually evacuate and then go and excavate forward from the A site, finding nothing. No remnants here from Cloud9. Just a bunch of empty-handed archaeologists. Mouz, yeah, quick change of career path. They're gonna run it back down to B. Can they get in time? We've got Heaven Smoke, but we've got Exertion in a prime spot to drop Axile. Big player to take. Still plays around in the swampy, frozen, trying to get in on this, but it's only NAVI to answer. And now the bomb's been taken down again. Exertion is holding his line. And Shiro with Hobbit by his side. Looked like they wanted to leave. Bomb still down in the open. Look at the damage that's been done. Hobbit's gonna come back into this. It's such little HP. JDC slides forward with another. Shiro, a clutch attempt again. He saw the skin of Frozen, but doesn't have the time. Ooh. What was an open invitation? Ooh. Because imagine if he gets both those kills. Shiro's not missing shots. It's just about getting chances.
Yes, and there he knows, of course, that second player was there. He had an inventory. He had an accurate stock of what was coming. That just, as you mentioned, no time in the clock. Look at this kill, man. Unreal. Unreal attack from Shiro. But he's really let down here. Perfect amount of support, however, from Mouz. They not only have Exertion back pit, as one guy kind of within smokes that can attack and defend, but then they also have the boost in CT spawn above him, and even if it doesn't get the kill right away, that's two players who are very close by. That's a scared short player who can't scale on Exertion, and Exertion gets his. Like clockwork.
Ominous feeling here from Cloud9. There have been Mouz players poking forward, and now that prod's been found. Torzi not swinging with the op, but still hitting shots. Hobbit dropped to 9. Oh, and the nade from downtown. Dexter dunks on him. NAVI gonna use that chance to slide out and take away the front player. 4-4 again.
Yeah, that's actually a really clean I mean, they'll happily go 4v4 right now. It's a clean refrag with tempo. But this position from Dexter, it's
big
tricky.
Chance. Nicely done. Woo! Double off of Frozen's flash. Dexter locks this in, and poor Shiro turned away because it's only 2 HP left over. Axile's Galil with too many targets. Tries his hand at all 3, comes up with nothing. And Shiro will limp away with the AWP. He's already being hunted. This is a clean sweep of the Cloud9 players. Mouz continue a rock-solid defense.
Listen, I don't care how consistently Cloud9 can come back on CD side. It will still tilt you every single time you go into a T side on the map you always win, and you just can't put up a competent attack. They're struggling right now. Can only imagine Mouz Sports have looked at every single demo possible to figure out how to make their life even worse. And as many steps they've taken forward on the map, Mouz knew was coming into the veto. It's clearly been adequately prepared for. The aimers here from Mouz are showing up. And while they themselves can't figure out how to win T rounds, they also have an ostensibly good CT side compared to a lot of others.
Hobbit's back and powering up now, but Exertion. Here we go. A little bit more damage done to Axile.
Ooh, man, Exertion really wanted to stay out for that fight. If he disengaged, of course, it would still been 4v4, but he didn't feel good about that. And now there's a real opportunity here for Cloud9. We heard that jump back.
Ooh, and Torzi doesn't hold it.
Did he spot? Oh, no way. He's running back into that.
Shiro gets the better.
Second re-aggression where you're testing one of the best overpass operas in the game.
Take too many chances. Life finds a way. And in this instance, Shiro does it again. So You know, despite the best efforts of Torzi and what has been some clean kills, we've also seen misses, and in this chance, it's just a presentation of himself on a platter for Shiro to feast.
That's no flash on the peak. It's it's a slow repeat, but it's still a repeat, right? Going to the same angle. It's not a more depressed angle. It's not safer. There's no other CT to draw attention. There's no dimension to the attack. Instead, it's a really big risk. And towards the end of the Academy League, he was a risky opper, and he actually was so good, of course. I mean, the level of competition wasn't as high, so it made sense. But he still stood so far above the rest. I think actually because of him on T side, he was very confident at peeking into a CT angle and a CT up. But keeping that same energy on your CT side can really ruin the map for the rest of your team. And I think playing the advantage on the CT side is everything on this map because there are too many to give away. That was in a good position, but not safe.
Sure.
Not safe.
Yeah, there's rumblings of an opening here for C9. And then for anybody with doubts at the current moment, we reiterate, CT side on overpass was phenomenal from C9. The likes of Faze could barely break through.
Couldn't break through.
Couldn't break through, yeah.
16-14 loss.
Damn, yeah, okay. In the words of Maui Snake, Faze?
Being toxic is a choice.
Hobbit presses into the short water. JDC behind Exertion. This is looking like a Cloud9 B commit nice and early. And it's nice to see that NXT generation with kills already on this map. Torzi, Exertion, JDC. That's who we look to at the moment here on B. Shiro bringing up the back end of this, but there is no commitment just yet. There's no movement from Mouz on the A site, so you know that this B hold better be wary.
Oh man, it's actually a pretty weak position here for Mouz. They're falling back too.
Caught in transition. It's all about the kills though. They do get down into the water. They have the smallest position to hold on with, and it's Exertion at least to catch them off guard. But I mean, just corralled, culled into the corner, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Cloud9 beating down from above them. They just did, man advantage Mouz. They just weren't ready.
They just didn't believe it was going to be B. If they were going, if they were transposing into another setup on the B side, another passive one, it could have been better. Of course, getting caught jumping as the entry comes out, a little unlucky. The timing is perfect there for Cloud9. They might have manufactured it. It's hard to say. But if we take a snapshot on that default before anybody trades glances, we have a similar amount of map control for Mouz, but it's more heavily, it's more demanding on the A site. They have 3 slightly more passive positions. They don't have one guy in party like we see on the mini-map right now. They had 2 holding bathrooms, 1 outside of bathrooms as well, and those players are stuck in. I mean, they don't even have a fast rotation downstairs, so no middle of the map control here for Mouz Sports. Lots of emphasis on the 2 players in B, and well, yeah, you'll definitely get to see her as well. That's funny. But the 2 players in B, they just couldn't put up the defense by themselves. They did in the past.
Second timeout called by Mouz. See if they can deal with that internal timing.
Yeah.
They were so confident it wasn't coming B. And I like that. I like the Cloud9 follow through.
I wonder what they were going to change to, where they might have had a good positions to change to for sure. And again, Exertion, JDC, they're the ones putting up big numbers on that half of the map. All right. Yeah. Well, the door is ajar. It's ajar. They've got a foot in. Now, Cloud9 want to ask them if they've got a moment to talk about the Lord.
Yeah. James, our Lord and Savior.
Let's see if they can get on the couch and really make this a meal for Mouz Sports.
Going to force Mouz to get a little creative in this, seeing as they're working with the lesser weapons, seeing as utilities non-existent.
Oh, it's the Furia crawl.
But Frozen has that kit. You know, it's like it's bare bones, but it's a miraculous moment maybe. Torzi He's got more where that first one came from, but Inters keeps it clean.
No flank.
Hobbit at the forefront, 2 USPs, of course, as Frozen tries to scramble inwards, and Hobbit's gonna stuff Exertion in an instant. USP down for the count, bomb planted, Shiro finds Frozen, and JDC, nothing left.
It's a Metal Gear Solid call. Snake out the outside of bathrooms, don't alarm anybody, and before it's too late, trap the riflers inside of bathrooms before they can fight back. And again, I call it the Furia play. It's so ironically Furia. It's something that they did a lot on Overpass, where the team that makes so much noise always lets you know what they're doing, but then they're a bit farther than you expect. But somehow, once in a while, we'll do a crawl up through the outside of bathrooms without throwing a single nade. And NAVI likes to make this call as well.
I think it's kind of comparable to exactly what we just saw at the B site, right? Much more utility in that case, but it's still just that slip through as the smoke fades. And kind of caught Mouz sleeping. So Cloud9 getting real dirty.
So well handled here by Inters as well. Denying the trade, that's the biggest chance.
Ooh, glass cannon Torzi. That's what's coming, folks.
Might be worth it based on some of the earlier rounds that we saw.
That's what's coming.
At the same time, a couple of small blemishes on the record here in this first half.
Sure.
So, but hey,
you'll have to clean it up.
You've still got to believe in your offer, no matter what.
And he has hit some zingers.
Yeah.
It's just about minimizing those mistakes. Don't flash into the likes of Shiro without assistance. Exertion again. I love when he presses in. But Inters has been hot on the trade. For only 3 kills, that's 2 efficient trades. One in bathrooms versus Torzi, and now this here at B.
And they made sure to add a layer of insurance when it comes to approaching B. That pistol round, Hobbit, and
hot.
NAVI peeking out, getting the refrag, or Axile, I should say. These past couple as well. Now, normally it's Axile by himself, lurking out on his own timings.
That's how it started.
Yeah, here they're planning for the worst, and it's actually, allotting them some interesting mid-round situations. 4v4, long control. They've won the middle of the map. They won short. No one's pushing Monster because that rarely happens. So the CTs, this will expose their insecurities. They'll look for some info back. They get short water, but they've come up to the A site. Are they late? Let's see. Torzi up to the plate.
Sees the util. Nice freebie versus Inters. And gets back around the truck. Axile can't keep it clean enough. And an excellently timed flank here from Dexter. So Shiro's chance to clutch because 3 separate fronts all fall the way of Mouz. And with 20 seconds on this clock, Shiro doesn't want to go home empty-handed. He's going to press in, dies immediately to Torzi. What goes around comes around. Mouz, stellar defense inside that A site, especially with the connector flank.
Torzi unscathed this round and can now buy armor off the back of it. So they trusted him with the no armor buy. Of course, the main weapon that you can go no armor and it can still make sense. He avoids getting naded. He avoids getting flashback and mollied. All of these things could have caused him hellish troubles, but he found his clean opening. They got the info for him over on the B side to know, hey, it's coming to be A in a few seconds, stay sharp, and he is sharp.
Dexter, who is this? Hyper aggressive, and he gets the kill inside the playground. Some pressure back from Axile. Torzi on an aisle as Dexter peels away from long. At least he knows that playground's fully clear. So Torzi confident to stick around. He knows there's nobody breathing down his neck. And then when that shot is missed, okay, washes his hands and walks away. If Cloud9 think they can transition into the B hit, well, they better be ready for what has stopped them before. Flash over top, Hobbit at the front, Axile and him already dead, and this one gets locked down.
Oh my God, wait, that smoke that came down at the other end of Monster, was that also thrown by the CT side in anticipation of the B site hit coming out? So when you have the deep smoke on the far end of Monster, it's hard to watch, and so teams will flash and try to come through it. And the reason you do that is so that you have like a lot of time where they can't actually get into the site. It's preventative. It's prophylaxis on the part of the CT side. But I think they threw down an extra smoke at the end so that they ran through a smoke into another one. And even though Hobbit had 2 blind players, they couldn't take the door off the hinges.
Couldn't see Jack. And Torzi, okay, fully blind. stuck inside the party. He'll now be going down, and Cloud9 gun for a fifth. A fifth on this T side is enough, hands down. They've already proven that. At Axile, well, he's gonna get caught out. It's Dexter down beneath him. Always getting into antics. C9 transitioning into the long push. They don't have to worry about that operand position. Remember, every time they press to A, it's generally Torzi. Not this time. We'll have Frozen outside bathrooms. JDC behind the dice. And Mouz looking to roll Cloud9 in this 15th. Still a minute, though. You'd be foolish to think Cloud9 are going to force the issue or follow through before they're really prepared and ready to go. At Exertion, since he does have some space, tries to press forward. Again, enters. Minimal amounts of kill, but it's a good one. It gets back man advantage, presses them closer towards B, opens it as a possibility, and the off goes back. Shiro can sense you, and Dexter dives into the short side, picks up 2 kills, pistol out, and enters will bring this back. It gets into JDC V2, and if he finds that timing, well, he would have found them by surprise. Instead, Hobbit closes, and Cloud9 take double digits as they kick off what could be a spectacular.
Don't give up on love.
Cloud9 doing what they do, sliding rounds through on this T side and priming this match for what could be a lockout on the defense. Better teams than Mouz have tried, and those better teams have failed. They've fallen, gone to the wayside. Our Faze, it's Mouz's chance here and now to try and get the better of C9. Can they do it? Can they overcome what is meant to be one of Rio's favorites? The hopes of the CIS region versus NAVI, maybe we'll see. But first, it's this NXT generation that they need to come back from and dispatch of.
Yes, and on that story, it is time potentially for the Shiro-Axile duo, who made their name on this map, who flipped their main roster because of huge wins and dominance across a few, but specifically Overpass, and Axile, who has shown unbelievable games and some inconsistency, looking to beat the previous playoff stats. And if you could do it in a comeback versus another roster that was born of the academy, well, wouldn't that be special? But Mouz looking to stop that in its tracks.
Ooh.
What a clear. What a clear.
With conviction. Hobbit pieces together the peak. We're going to get a fast rush from Mouz up through bathrooms. Now no longer wasting time. Axile locking horns down long. Nafany inside the bomb site kills Dexter on the other end. 3 kills back in from Mouz. If there's one thing that goes their way, it seems to always be pistols.
The bomb is left here at long. They're taking over bank control. The CTs are trying to be patient, but they're being hunted from the back.
Nice. Torzi gets that little fight forward. Hobbit smoked off for a moment, trying to do it all on his own. And he just gets lost inside of that smoke, so he has to peel away from it. Mouz will find the post plant. Frozen on 70, Exertion on 40. And Hobbit, who looked world class on Inferno, is now hunting a 1 versus 3. As he slides out, he's got one pinned against the truck. It's a little dance versus Torzi that Hobbit's come out on top of. And he's still got that 100 health. Wouldn't this be a miracle? Yeah, he'll get caught on the cross. Now with such little HP, it goes down nice and smooth. Body shots make the difference. Mouz stand tall in the pistol, and an 11-5 lead looks great.
I'll tell you right now, as much as we could expect a really good comeback here from Cloud9, if Mouz can close on the offense, even with a pistol, 10 rounds, and are this close to ending it, it would be an insane performance still. That's how good Cloud9 are. So, no overpass was going to be coming up. What can Mousesports do to stand to their own follies? Not even in their wins, just not really having to play T-side at all. Now, that might be an advantage for them coming up against C9. C9 will go instantly into the bye versus a really well-stocked Mouz.
Ooh, this is kind of fun. Scout versus Scout.
Yeah.
Although it is Axile. Shiro leaves his utility, decides to take the forward press. Dexter is right on the other end of this. Molly for the front of the bank. Axile looking to support. There it is. Shiro's ump revealed. JDC tagged up, and at least he gets the kill back. But it's not just that single UMP. NAVI has also slid forward as they lose the scout. Now their back's exposed and the rotation starts to come up. The 5-7's enough to kill JDC. They almost line up for it. The site's being held. More damage done, and Frozen starts to bail them out. Enters with the 5-7, 2 bullets away from upsetting in the force. And he slides back into cover further towards the dumpster. Mouz will leave.
Wow, he's making this so precarious. I mean, he doesn't have another gun on his body. Enters, he's been good for a clutch every once in a while. They're so low, and he's beat them to the site.
He's got the bigger picture. It's just about the delivery. And Enters is sliding in between 2 Ts. Bomb will be planted. However, that's JDC down. And Frozen, with ice in his veins, cannot afford to take a single shot. Enters just trying to expose anything, and he knows that a tap is what it needs. Now with the automatic gun, you'd think it comes easier, but like I said, ice in his veins. You think they bought a kit? Because Frozen doesn't. He doesn't budge. He doesn't move, and with that, he'll keep Mouz's momentum well alive.
Oh, it is all in the name with Frozen. 5 HP, no other option, but still, a worse, less composed player would bite and try to get that info or go for the swing. And that's 12 for Mouz. You got to think Enters had the best opportunity to win that round when they were both up close. He might not have known with certainty that they were both low. So there's that. From our perspective, of course, run at them. 5-7, start spraying that thing. But that's with perfect information. Still, great shots being hit here. Earlier one from Frozen. A clean one also from Exertion towards the scout on site and Axile at long. They had to work for it. And now they'll have to work even harder. Better guns here for the CT side. Another aggressive stance.
Wow, man. I mean, this buying trend really doesn't feel sustainable, but they got so close in the last one.
They have 0 grenades.
Nothing.
At a minute 22, no kits whatsoever.
Just guns. Weaponized meat bags.
Everything going on over at B is a false flag. There is the bomb with the majority on the A side, moving up in this direction. Dexter trying to sell this fake, walking in, gonna get damage off and a kill.
Did you look at that?
And now, is there another rotation? Look at Axile. We got to pay attention to him. If he's staying confident, he stays. Oh, they are seeing Dexter and thinking it's going to be a bait. Frozen sits on B, but they've already rotated.
And the bomb's locked in on long. I mean, it could leave and still make it, but it would have to start its long journey now.
Oh, man.
Cloud9.
They can try to wait for the walkthrough to the site. The T's are actually going to think about going back. 30 seconds, and they might run into this.
Hobbit is the one chosen for this moment. He keeps it tucked beneath the ledge and goes down empty-handed. They needed that. It opens up the rotation for the bomb. Frozen's already deep, and Cloud9 will now desperately start to run this back over. Oh, what? JDC just slams a shot through smoke. Axile comes through, dropped by Frozen, who slid past the dead body of Dexter to confirm B is free.
Wow, the 2-layer fake, and it looked like Mouz just dug a little bit too deep. They got a little bit too crazy with it. But no, they had enough time to do it. They only had to get through 1 MP9 in the staircase. Even if Hobbit gets his kill, it's going to get traded by the second guy. They still actually have a good way to get back to B safely. It's not as desperate as it seemed. And Cloud9, they put a lot of money into that. They're into a half buy. They're going to try to fight back from 14, or, of course, do the unthinkable and win with just pistols and a UMP carry.
Ooh, not spotted as Frozen, so you'd think he gets to have a field day on the B site. But it is really just the warning. Hobbit, caught leaving the first corner by JDC. So things going swimmingly, it seems. A press into the short water. Will prime Frozen for a 3K. They line up, and he'll slay two. First up. Next up, Inters. Puts an end to that party. NAVI, speaking of parties, slides through smoke. Him and Exertion crossing paths towards the bomb plant towards A. All is good in the Mouz camp. A 14-5 score on Overpass. And what could very well be the first map loss of Cloud9 since they took Greyhound to the limit.
We want to be careful with those words, but listen, eventually it's going to catch up to you. You can't keep getting away with this, Cloud9. The T sides have not been up to par. And here with the 5 rounds, no win after the pistol. How many times can they survive this? Well, we'll see. If they could do it again, I mean, they could do it again.
You telling me they can do this again?
If they could do it again in playoffs.
Then what?
Well, now, I mean, now there's no reason to try to keep this narrative going of, well, playoffs, well, Legends Age wasn't playoffs, well, the crowd there was small. Like, you know what I mean? None of this stuff is going to matter. And when I talked to Cloud9, you know, they, with a lot of conviction, they said that, NAVI said that after some of those games ended, he didn't even know how bad the half was in the beginning when they made those giant comebacks. He saw people tweeting at them, he saw the posts, he heard people going, oh my God, I can't believe you kept your nerve. And for him, he said he just played it round by round. Hobbit said the most important thing is to simply stay calm. And they've proved that that's not just talk.
Sure.
So, but well, the problem is, Mouz T-sides this event. Yeah. Mouz already in this half.
They've been better.
Lots of signs that, you know, one small misstep will be exploited by a team like Mouz. I mean, what a capstone comeback it would be for Cloud9 and this litany of comebacks that they performed in the past couple of weeks now. But you can't bet on it. You just can't.
Oh, no. It's up to them to put their money where their mouths are. Yeah. You want to approach this round by round? Well, here's round number 20. Axile, wow, timing betrays him, and still he delivers. Nice second one into Dexter there. 12 HP will keep Axile alive and standing, and will give Cloud9 a little sigh of relief. Torzi gets the better of it, but that's going to prime Hobbit for a one-tap flank. And he just instantly transmissions back down into connector, but not ready for Frozen to come through. Singular man advantage.
The multifaceted lurks once again here for Mousesports, finding an interesting way back into the round. 2v4 is unthinkable. 2v3, well, it's improbable, but Mouz still with money, still with HP.
It's good utility. Oh, missed flash. JDC gonna have to work in without it. Shiro comes up from dumpster, but misses his one shot. Did not see his hands.
I don't know if he did.
NAVI was exposed, and now he goes left wide. And to the surprise of JDC, chops down both remaining members of Mouz. That's the first of a massive ask of Cloud9.
Look at the money here for Mousesports. I mean, they've got more than a buy. They're going to have everything they want and a few dollars left over. So why stress? I asked in the same roundtable conversation with Freya to Mousesports and Cloud9, Mouz, what do you have to say about making a comeback? And JDC has very similar words to, you know, the wisdom that NAVI and Hobbit put down, and said you have to be in complete control of your emotions at all time. You have to know when to celebrate, and that's what we know about JDC. He seems very in touch with, you know, him as an emotional person. But he said, while you're in the game, while it's still live, you have to be the master of yourself. And
wise words.
Think about what you need to do. Not get too excited, not get too sad, and just put one foot in front of the other. So, all right, early damage here on Torji. And actually, not as much money as I thought. Dexter only has a Tech 9. That's the smallest concession, though. Everything else looks pretty decent. And with their way they're setting up right now, they don't have to do a full default. So, exec into the A site.
Axile pinned on long.
Yeah, good progress.
Exertion's Molotov moves forward, but it's instantly smoked. So, a warning side for Mouz.
Long
Big
smoke.
issue if nobody holds connector, because Hobbit's going to come at this again. And now that Torzi's hands are no longer busy, exertion, oh! He got legged from Truck, but Hobbit still strikes. Down go 3! On the flank, he holds them. And Frozen, desperate at this point, his entire team collapsed as they tried to press through bathrooms. Hobbit yet again.
Wow, man, that's an unreal second kill. But the fact that it gets 3, that's one for the ages. Hobbit had an unreal over 2.0 rating on the Inferno map we just witnessed. And now he's gotten through T side, him
Such
as a
little
con
help.
player. Yeah.
And Hobbit's job is easy. Look at these cleanups.
Every single one was
Yep.
of absolute necessity, considering the sight hold goes down. Oh.
Did I just die?
I did. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. Siren's going to be playing tomorrow, actually. Oh. Oh, it's a little early.
Whew.
Who needs coffee?
I was gonna say, I've never felt so alive. But Cloud9, let's try to get back into what's up. Glocks only, no utilities. Baxile, ooh, dinked. Makes things a little more interesting, but that's just one M4 and it comes at a cost. Grenade's gonna chip away, NAVI sliding. How do they fit in that corner? 2 dudes, 1 spot. Had a chance now from Frozen. 21-9. I don't need to remind you of what he's capable of doing when he puts up numbers like that, but of course, it's the insurance policy of C9. Hobbit ends their hopes.
I think he had one map where he had 12. Frozen had one map where he had 12 kills. They won the map still. Apart from that, since the beginning of Challengers, hasn't had less than 17 frags on any map. Most of the maps over 20. Unreal consistency. Doing it again right now. And making that round really close to possible. And it really does, harm the money here of Cloud9. But Mouz are pretty much only interested in investing in round wins at this point. I mean, they could try to break the bank of Cloud9. Almost certainly, it's going to be an unreasonable task. They need to try to win 2 kind of full-on rifles. Very decent buys from Cloud9. Anytime they get that close, they're just going to be mad they didn't close it. So, buy it again here for Mouz Sports as they look for a 9th. Finish line is nearby, but there are some pretty tanky linemen defending against the touchdown. What is that shot from Shiro?
We've seen some disgusting flick shots from him so far this event.
There's nothing quite like a floor bang.
And he just snatches Torzi by the neck, slams him to the ground. It'll set up Cloud9's 5v4. AWP trades hands into those of Dexter.
That steals just so much power from you in the round. You lose your upper that quickly. Just feels so thinned out. Cloud9 start to move into their usual positions, readying for a type of B hit coming their way. It's no more pressure on Shiro. After his first casualty comes so early, such a high value target in Torji.
Damage.
Oh, and yeah, they're getting pestered.
Yeah, they just, unfortunately, it's a gut-wrenching feeling for Mouz.
This is one of those positions where you want to be inconspicuous sometimes in CS, but it's not all about going completely unnoticed.
Sure. Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to improve your position, maintain tension, and let them know you know. It doesn't make their life any easier. And look at the benefits. Interrupted the attack. They're saving in the position where they wanted to execute. And, oh, another opper down.
Yeah.
Part-time opper, of course.
Yeah, forgot that wasn't Torzi and thought, goddamn Hobbit. Dexter just not fast enough on the trigger finger. And so, yes, from the position of attack to the consolation of a save.
Oh,
Shiro will catch exertion, so it's only 2 to stand.
and they actually can't even get the op back in that spot. So it's just 2 guns carried forward. 3.5K on exertion. Everyone else with a little less. Mouz fans out in the crowd. They definitely got kind of, I feel like we're unanimously cheered for here in Rio.
That's how
where
it felt.
Cloud9, it felt like it was a mix of cheers and boos. That was interesting to see where the fan support leans.
Definitely a blend. Final timeout here from Mouz. So if this comeback continues.
Awkward, they're forced into the buy because they saved those guns. They don't want to leave anybody behind. And they're going to invest. And it still might be a good idea. I mean, they have rounds to work with. I think Mouz's, again, multi-layered lurks have been the clue as to what they feel like is the best way into getting to kill C9. They flanked Hobbit inside a con. That guy has rain terror on them when they haven't known he was about to push.
Shiro, first shot out, finds its mark.
Oh, bad flash. Oh, no, it's a good flash. It's actually a great flash. Gets an interesting bounce there, yeah.
Ooh, he wants to go digging. Gets away from connector, but just takes a further angle. So again, he's honing in on JDC. It's a lot of real estate here being held by Axile, and he's worried about fights on either side, but this could really boil down to timing. Like you said, multifaceted, lurks, and
yeah.
JDC is not alone here inside connector. Axile, this could be one for him to queue up. They arrange themselves in a line.
Oh,
well, that could have been, but
that's that black bars, baby.
He's playing that game, right? Back and forth, left and right, which way to look. And now all of a sudden, Mouz, they're going to crank that dial to a 10. Dexter goes running through. Stuffed by Inters up close. More flashes, both sides. Frozen prevails. Hobbit slides in, drops bomb, and then gets back around into the corner. Low HP. Shiro shaves off JDC. And Cloud9 look as though they're hanging on again. But how about Frozen? Nope, not this time. It's exertion over the top, and exertion goes down at the native NAVI sailing in from heaven.
The narrowest margins on that play.
6 rounds left for this comeback.
And now we're getting to the territory where you almost might rather be the CT side, and that's a scary prospect here for Mouz Sports. Now, ironically, I think sometimes you get close in rounds like that because you feel like you have the least amount to lose. Contact explodes, you're willing to scale, you're willing to really swing hard instead of just stutter, and sometimes that can be all it takes. You get one player who has a good entry that can topple the site or reveal where the other player is going to be. You've watched the demos, and then that can be too much. And they nearly got themselves into a spot like that, but the fallback protocols are wicked. I mean, Shiro is covering an angle. His teammate in front of him can't watch, but he knows exactly what Shiro is doing and is never exposed to danger. It's Hobbit up front. Oh, there's Zach in the crowd. There we go. Oh, it's the whole roster. Rosters, I should say.
Yeah. Mixed bag.
Yeah. Former teammate of his, of course, in Tri. Here
we go. Pistols back in from Mouz. Wonder if Axile will be a little less adventurous. Put himself in maybe less of a 50-50. He got punished inside the short water.
Now, the reason Axile is the guy who rifled outside bathrooms, the reason Electronic did it for so much of his career, who now Bit does it, and the reason all these names are such powerful names when you think about them, is because you have a lot of fights that you can take that are very aggressive, that are all favorable. None of them are just anchor spots, so you're constantly floating. So you need to have just straight up your best rifler playing on bathrooms, and that's why it's been Axile. And as a standout rifler this year, in a map like this, in a stage like this, he will have to show his ability to perform consistently. And it's the scariest, but also most fun part about this map. Lots of opportunities to frag, but lots rest on your shoulder, as you typically have 3 on the B side and only an opera to support you.
We can get real close on long. Axile just pressing into the cement. NAVI's gonna get a little closer. Axile goes down for free. NAVI, this smoke is temporary, but it still works. 2 kills already. Exertion's got the Deagle trade. Shiro scoped towards bathrooms, missed the snapshot. Mouz start to run in. Hobbit been killed, and this could very well be it. They gave up that real estate. Inters pressing in around the smoke. M4's in the hands of Mouz, and did they give them too much space?
Well,
or did C9 just give them enough rope to hang themselves? Inters, unbeknownst to Mouz, has gotten up into the bathrooms. Exertion's gonna peek, and there it is, folks! Mouz, 15!
It is on a round where they have nothing. Again, they make the space. How they kill Axile, I don't know. And we watched that from NAVI's POV. He has this fantastic spray, almost makes up for the fact that their star rifler in the bathroom dies. But right now, he's having a bad map. It's getting exposed. And look at the shots that come at bank shot here. P250 from Torzi, unreal trade. Lots of chances that C9 could have won. But again, no room to breathe here on this comeback. There are just no rounds to work with. It's Counter-Strike. You are going to lose rounds like that. But if you start 14-4 before you get onto rifles, well, you literally have to play perfect and get lucky.
And that last one, they don't find it, but right back into the winning ways. Don't forget, right, they already offered 5 CT round wins in a row. If you don't think they can do this, then you don't know Cloud9. And you haven't watched their tale here in Rio de Janeiro. It has been this every step of the way. Dexter, he finds that timing, but he exposes himself to the heavens, and that's where Hobbit strikes him down. Next up, Torzi versus Shiro, and with bomb dropped, so is this one. Mouz, sure enough, you did it with those pistols, but I wouldn't be shocked if that's just the wake-up call to Cloud9. See if they start to press further forward on the A site. See if they let Mouz get that close to a bomb site again. It's right back to winning ways for the defense.
It is, yeah. Zero margin for error now. Mouse Sports, ball is in their court. Sigh of relief that they know Cloud9 have to wake up every round and hear that sound of match point. That's one more advantage, just a little bit of added pressure. But one good rifle, that's kind of what we're looking for right now. Mouz sort of struggling to find that. Dexter on this Deagle. 2 kits on him and Frozen. But important utility on Exertion as well. One smoke goes out. Just throwing his kit to clear out bathrooms, push back the oppers, and try to get the rotations out heavier towards A. You can see the bomb outside of B right now. Mouz are clearly interested in hitting the B. Oh my God! What is that?
A stunning shot from Torzi. A man advantage, Mouz.
If that's the kill, that's the reason they close out the map. We have to shut our mouths about Torzi. 20 and 14.
And Frozen now. Let that be your fire. Let that be your fuel. Inters out. NAVI offers one. And with it, Mouz decide to pump the brakes and double back because they've got Exertion pressing towards A. Who's ahead of it? It's Axile. Meant to be the star rifle of Cloud9. His struggles in Rio have been apparent, but he saw that barrel, and he'll shut down Exertion. Next up is Dexter and Torzi, and he's got a smoke to work with. They're gonna hone in on this side, dodges the flash, Axile delivers yet another, but Torzi nails another 2. Couple kills left for the Hungarian, looking to feast on this A site. Bomb planted, what a round for him. NAVI presses wide, Torzi dodges and doesn't manage another. NAVI keeps this hope alive.
Wow. Wow, we're hitting levels that we just haven't seen from Torzi, but we know exist. Just in this side, this event, I mean, that off-screen flick, that was wasn't in the scope at all inside the B site, right? Just the audible. Dude, that was something insane. I mean, that is also completely nuts. Crazy. But they don't pull it off. However, Torzi, he gets back onto the op. It's a 3-round game. It's extremely close. It's extremely tense. Mouz don't know they can win. But they clearly have the tools. Oh! Oh, well. Okay, well, one of them gets thrown at torze.
Yeah, from the highlight reel to the first coffin filled. And Shiro gonna get flashed back. If there was a player pressing into mid, maybe Shiro does get caught, but the escape route very clear. And I think at this point for Cloud9, so is the bigger picture. Dexter again, trying to pick up that op, trying to fill a role that he probably doesn't even want to touch. But when torze's the first man down, exertion. Oh, NAVI. He wins it from the back, and then they don't know about Axile ahead of it all. Frozen will still catch Hobbit. That's at least a saving grace for Mouz's 28th. A hope and a dream, still very well alive. A tournament life on the line. Map 3 not far away.
So close.
What an attempt this would be from Frozen. And I mean, he's piecing this together. He senses the peak, the inevitability of NAVI comes in and will shut down that short play. Dexter again left on his own.
The swing is perfect. Perfect amount of space for his teammate to come through into that. Dexter on the up, figuring out how to save. He has to, I think he feels like he has the onus to make sure he gets a kill first. Sourcing some information and taking down Axile.
Why not?
18 seconds, and he's just trying to play games with them. They don't even care about finding him. It's not really relevant. Right now at Cloud9, yeah, they are a little bit low, and the map is just a little bit too big. So Cloud9, they get to 13. torze fully countered before even getting an op shot off. Naded down inside a playground. Well, he's the weakest when he can't shoot back. See if they can make that a consistency. Great to see NAVI. I mean, he's dying a lot, as he does, but he's also getting a lot of really big frags. And his overpass, he's making up for Axile in a lot of spots.
Yes, yes, fair point.
It's not a good sign for Cloud9 as a whole, but sometimes you need that from that extra player that you don't normally see those performances from.
Hobbit wants to get his hands busy. JDC relegated again to the back of connector. What's the move, Mouz? What's the move?
And these rounds, again, they can be the scariest. And because the CTs, no matter what round it is, are encouraged to get a little bit of map control, right? That's the unique part of this map. Well, that means that CTs are often in untradeable positions, even if they have significant advantages in those spots. So we'll see. Constantly updating here on the jump spot. There's room for a headshot if JDC is fast enough, although the approach from stairs, of course. You'd be pretty surprised to see that come through. But here it is again. Yep. Get space for free, explode, commit to a site quickly.
The one
Let's
round
see what they try to do.
that they picked up outside of those opening 4. Pistols pressing into A.
Yep. They're setting up a lurk.
With Frozen over towards Monster, I mean, Hobbit on an aisle. Picks up the first one and again. Able to just lock in connector, but there's Frozen, a chance to activate exertion. He's gonna keep him busy up at A. Damage into Axile, more in fact on Shiro, and an open B site, so it seems. There's another piece here. There's another in the water. NAVI fully healthed. Frozen barely standing, and Dexter strikes him down. Dexter now the only one with full HP. A mistimed unscope. Is he gonna do it again to push Mouz to map 3? Shiro pistol out, and Dexter delivers! We find ourselves in the murky, muddy waters of Ancient.
Yes, and on Ancient, we do have, there's a world where Mousesports win this map, a competent CT side, a very good T side, almost 50% over a lot of maps. Big wins over Ancient, or over ENCE, Fnatic. They lost to Outsiders. They lost to Liquid. So some of the upper tier competition, they're struggling. For Cloud9, they beat Faze 16-8, Liquid 16-13. They most recently lost to Spirit at the RMR 13-16. We know that Cloud, at one point last year, Cloud9 were looked at as the Ancient team. I mean, when this map came out as well, these guys showed the most comfort, the most interesting CT setups. Shiro opping through donuts. Their B-side holds. They had the ability to take down almost anybody.
Right now, they'll start by dropping Exertion. There are still multiple players here in Donut. And Torzi, unsuspectingly, slides into Shiro. Axile's going to tap Frozen back. And now we get this A main press. But Axile, kicking it up a notch in the pistol. And pushing this one onto the shoulders of the Aussie. Axile,
we missed you.
3 kills, and he'll connect. But we need to see more of him. It has been a quiet tournament, and he's meant to be Shiro's right-hand man.
It's been an inconsistent tournament, right? High highs, low lows, but that's not what they need from Axile. And yeah, over on Overpass, I mean, that map could have been wrapped up in an enormous comeback, of course, still. That's only the problem for them because they lost both pistols. As was pointed on the desk, good starts on both maps from Mouz Sports, but this time a pistol round win from Cloud9. You know, if they felt like they could slack in the early part of the game because they still felt like they could win, they got a wake-up call on Overpass, a map that they have beaten so many teams on 7-1 recently. They learned that Mouz Sports play hard enough to keep up. Close it out on the attack.
Hobbit, though, adventurous as always.
Oh, look at the amount of mid-control here. Hobbit season trailing back.
Clean. Follows suit with Shiro, so MP9's going to milk this one for a little money.
So with this map, we are seeing a higher rate of A attacks via long, not with mid-control. Sometimes you have a late lurk through Donut. On this eco, of course, getting locked out of positions. From the CT side, mid-control is everything. Making sure that no one can have counterplay from elbow means that you can take control of all the backlines outside of B, and then it becomes easier to rotate freely around the map. So we're going to see Mouz Sports try to clash for mid-control. That's going to mean Exertion. They were able to, versus ENCE, do some really cool attacks on this part of the map. I think versus Cloud9, it's going to be a bit harder. But they have some experience here. And Cloud9, they're going to fight equally as hard. 4 mid, down B. A lot of emphasis, as always, on the Cave player on CT side, who will more often than not be completely alone. Inters will roll up quick with just a silenced M4. Try to lay down some pressure. Certainly feels like the double fakes from Mouz are going to pay off, and already have. They've already proven to do so.
Setting up layers early. We see nothing of Cloud9 over towards that A site. But it's not as though they fake much with it, right? Still holding onto the nades.
Yeah, they're waiting to see if Cloud9 want to set the tempo, or set the mood with the aggressive pushes, main control, anything like that. It's a feeler round here for Mouz Sports, and they are very good at synthesizing the data.
Cloud9 gives them nothing.
Yep, they've avoided all opponents.
Axile will slide into A main eventually. Hobbit shuffling around as well. Peek. Ooh, JDC just took his crosshair off that corner. We're going to get a follow-through from Mouz into the B site by the looks of it, but that's just the looks here. They're selling one to Cloud9. The A defense already peels back. Sitting inside B is Cloud9, wondering where did that assault get off to? It was meant to follow through. Now we have smokes on the side of the site, and Hobbit look to press in towards the... Oh! He actually gets stopped. Bomb drop, frag over top. Axile wants to go swinging, but holds. And Hobbit, he's going to run them down. Bomb in, and Dexter bounces back up. He's got a little bit of cover. He's got Axile over in the open. Inters and Shiro connect with their kills. And despite that plant going down, Cloud9 come through with a quick and easy retake.
Now, there was a number of moments there where clearly Mouz could have caught them off guard. Running through smokes, the rotations out of the site to come back to A. But seriously, that Cloud9 really shot hard there. Won all their trades. Axile in particular. Like, a moment like this kind of makes you feel like you're either going to believe in him or not for the map in these last couple of weeks. And that one over JDC is no small one. JDC very sharp when he has no cover to work with on the AK. He's able to best the M4 more than a lot of people these days. The Cloud9 get off to the 3-0 start. But Mousesport's game plan was very apparent. They felt it out.
Right, and
They
promising.
got the rotates in place, yeah.
Ooh, Frozen.
Gets melted.
Yeah. Yeah. Drips as he tries to push up that lane. Exertion. Looking for the deagle kills, but it's NAVI with a triple. Just going to make quick work of the pistols and the hopes of Mouz to upset. Can't forget, of course, they won a round like that very critically on the T side of Overpass. You know, unlike with Cloud9's other comebacks and strong, not just strong, dominant CT sides on Overpass, this time Mouz won the pistol, converted fully for the 4,
yes.
and they lost one of those freebies. You know, that was something, I think you put it well, you said you have to be, you know, also a little lucky. And Cloud9, they let that luck slip through, gave Mouz the space. And that is what really made it uncharacteristic. Other than that, everything was going swimmingly for C9. But alas, won't happen here, not early on anyways. Guns up for Mouz, Torzi with the op. Him and Exertion both hunting their first kills, and Cloud9 slotting in to their CT side.
Yeah. Now let's see what version of this T side we're going to get. As mentioned, CT side controlling mid if it's given to them, taking over cave, and then putting pressure on the B guys coming out. That's Inters right now. Gets away with his life, just barely. Does some damage as well. Gets some info, but it's so early. They can't do much with it, of course. Info most relevant when it's fresh, and now Mouz can reset while winning the outside of B. This is nice. They'll happily trade, you know, 2/3 of Frozen's bar just to be able to say, okay, we don't have to get nades to retake this part of the map, and it gets the CTs to rotate on the perimeter a little bit more blindly. And it looks like now they can start to clamp down on mid slowly. Minute mark. Great pace here for Mousesports. And this is where we'll see an interesting move from Cloud9.
Keeping that third player allocated to B. Hobbit thinking about pressing over top. Exertion's managed to get himself that much closer. And Hobbit, yeah, playing a dangerous game with the jump spots, doesn't get punished. Inter sure will. And NAVI's got Dexter right back. The IGL hangs on. The bomb site belongs to Mouz. 3 sets of feet within it, hunting for the next frag. JDC decides to get aggressive. NAVI continues to hold this line. And at least Caves belongs to Cloud9 for now. NAVI's still pressured. Hobbit succeeds, and Exertion finally peels him off. But it's little bits of health for Frozen and Exertion. And no clean headshot in from Exertion means Frozen has to concede. They'll take that plant, they'll take 2 kills, but they also take a beating, and Cloud9 find 5.
It has to be said, NAVI, since the Legend stage, has been incredibly reliable with his rifles. All the positions, all the angles that he's taken, he's mowing people down. He's doing such a good job for the team just as a fragger. This is not just as a rifler. And he saves this round. He really does. He could have been traded out in a couple of spots here, but he denies it. Cloud9 with a 5-0. T timeout here called from Mousesports. Maintaining a couple of guns. Looking to put together another buy. And the idea was fine. They had a good enough attack. They even got 1 kill inside of the cave. Dexter denied the trade. But they could have still hit B there. Oh, I see. We see some good stuff here from Mousesports that looks like they're very ready to play Ancient versus Cloud9 at the moment.
There's one thing we praise Mouz for, it's preparation, Cyclone's impact, T-sides.
Yeah.
Those 3 things can come together. But what Cloud9 have been consistently praised for throughout their run is that resilience. Nobody has faced defeat more than C9 prior to that challenger stage. And then, wow, they took a deep look into the eyes of death, turned around and never went back. Mouz remind them what they look like. Yeah. With that glance on Overpass, but here we are. Missed shot from Torzi, just it's a matter of timing and it's not on the money.
Yeah, Cloud9 absolutely have so much scar tissue built up. You know that's stronger than skin. But this last map was the first map they've lost since day 1 of Challengers after going down 0-2.
Since they arrived in Rio.
So still made to bleed, just to make today very interesting. Similar lurk here from Exertion. Adamant about getting this control.
Ooh, wow, still picks that up. and then spins his knife into the corner like it's no big deal, no sweat. Axile's up next. Fire at their feet, they press in. He's gonna finish Torzi, continues the spray and chops down Dexter too. Shiro, not gonna miss. Connects with the AWP, and this gun round just got wrecked as it tried to press into that A site. Frozen looks to recover, and Axile still very much a piece of this puzzle. Waits inside the corner, and I mean, this one's queued up. He sees Frozen's hands, but he can't get the better, and then Shiro gives him a chance. Both of the stars of Cloud9 with a missed chance to close it. Exertion presses out. Inters tries to come through, and it's damaged both directions, but yet now just Shiro left. And what do you know? Mouz pressed through. Wow. 2v4.
Man, Frozen with these mid-round engagements, the fact that he kills Axile, who he's showing his gun to, it seems like he's definitely going to die. It's not just a kill in vain. It's not just a Pyrrhic victory. He gets that kill, gets more, and ends up winning the round. We saw those flashes from Frozen on Overpass and just in general. Across Challengers, across Legends, and now as well. And they win what could be a key T round here to get them into the game on Ancient. It would have been a save to follow.
That's one.
And now the CTs will call a timeout. They'll get into this. I mean, they can talk about this. This is a 3v5 start. With Axile looking dominant.
Damn, nice couple kills.
Yeah, Dexter shaking.
Please, God, no. But just couldn't press into that wall close enough. I mean, that round had the makings of another Cloud9 round win.
Yep.
It was all there.
Yep.
Axile, or hell, even Shiro, missed shot as they exit out from Donut. You know, when we go back and look at Overpass, it was Torzi who was giving us those occasional misses. Shiro was stellar. Now that shortcoming leaks into Shiro ever so slightly. And Mouz on the board. Hobbit immediately down to the bottom of mid. NAVI trying to press down ramp. He's got to be cautious. Frozen's close. Oh my God. Smoke out Dexter. He's going to find two. No, excuse me. Torzi actually slides through with the op coverage. Nicely done. Through the doorway. A contrast to NAVI, who didn't have his gun out. Torzi right there to lend a helping hand. And now Mouz. I mean, they're looking at this B site frothing at the mouths. They want it, but it's not actually the bomb. Check out this slip. Axile still here. Oh, he picks up JDC. Exertions in the open, gets the trade. Deep smoke, that's a gone. Gone for good, you'd think. Hobbit's gonna go back towards middle. Frozen sliding into the corner.
Saw him.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Hobbit locked in. Hobbit hunting, sees it, misses. Oh, and Frozen survives the fight.
Wow.
And with that, Inters turns back.
You must respect Frozen. You must respect Exert. Some of these entry players, sometimes alone, they don't need any help whatsoever. They are just so sharp with it. So comfortable being aggressive. And the call right there from Mouz. They have B site vulnerable. They know they're going to rock the CTs over towards to overcompensate on the B site, and then they end up trying to go for A, and the site almost gets locked down. But again, Exertion's one key one. Taking out the back default player, giving Mouz a second, chewing through that economy a little bit more. Cloud9, they can still buy. This one hurts a little bit more than the last one. They failed to take early round control down the B steps. They're not going to throw that in every round. Hobbit's stressed about losing that.
Yeah, understandably frustrated. You know, he had every advantage he needed to kill Frozen, simply missed the shot. He lands that one, as Shiro or Axile could in the previous. Well, we'd be looking at a potential 7. Instead, Mouz already working on the quota.
Middle's been given. Inters falls back into this passive setup. Seen, of course, NAVI very comfortable in this area right here. Can get spammed in his position. Kind of hard to guarantee the kill or get a lot of damage, though. T's still waiting for an overreaction. Holding on both other sides of the map for a mid push. The CTs won't give it. And that's what stylistically does make this difficult for Mouz. Cloud9 very comfortable, full passive. Forze can't source one coming up the ramp on this op.
He's been looking.
Yeah, and now they're trying to make this rotation harder. I don't know if this one works out as well for Mouz. 3 CTs, they just go the long way around. They get comfortable, and they wait for the hit.
Maybe with some missed shots, things could still go south for Cloud9. What's left of the utility gets thrown out. NAVI ready and waiting, fully blind. Forze, that flash is fantastic. Hobbit, well, trying to put that boost back up into position. He's already killed one.
God.
JDC manages to get that plant off the side. Exertion starts to walk it back towards ramp, and sure enough, post-plant unrolling.
No smoke. No smoke for the CT side. We know how important it is. Look at Torzi's position. They can only flash him.
He's ready, he's waiting, and a missed chance. It's Hobbit to come through with another kill. Frozen's gonna bring this back. Oh, Shiro, team kill!
Whoa.
And Frozen then comes out to finish things off.
Oh my God.
Mouz managed to break through.
They fall apart.
A fantastic flash.
It is, wow. They completely fall apart there. I don't know how that shot went for Shiro, but that looks like a player that either took the bullet in place of the T, could have scaled in front of him. Feels like everything went on that. Saw cave. Oh my God.
And it doesn't kill the player in the back. If Frozen goes down with that shot,
yeah, no,
that's another story.
Well, up until that point, it was still a good round for Cloud9, but now it's 3 in a row here.
Ooh, and a fast one.
One health for Exertion.
Just enough. The bare bones exposed.
Oh, Shiro is playing very committed here. So we'll see if he wants to try to leave, but if he doesn't find the lurk just right now, well, Exile, he's alone. MP9 up top.
On an island. Man, so worried. This kind of gives me flashbacks to overpass short B water. Luckily this time Shiro's coming to help. It's up close that JDC bests him. Low HP on 2 Ts. Shiro's gonna finish off that first one, lays down the incendiary, and Mouz eject.
Whoa.
They're gone.
Interesting.
Just like that.
They're not into the site. The rotations are fully out.
And NAVI bit. NAVI bits down fully. Dexter's gonna try to slide upwards. NAVI, he's caught transition, but where the hell did he go? Working up along the wall, Dexter's missed the timing to kill that one. Shiro's on high alert. Oh, but he stopped clearing that close corner. Here comes NAVI. Denied by JDC. Out from cave, and out goes C9. We're talking Mouz 4 in a row.
Oh, they are starting to crumble now. Clutch kills coming out from Mouz. And the coolest part about this series is we weren't seeing any type of choke. When it came to Mouz playing above their game, looking so solid as if the circumstances haven't changed at all, pulling out insanely difficult refrags. I think that's the most awesome part. And Cloud9, they put together great rounds as well. It feels a little bit too evenly matched, though, for Cloud9's comfort. Again, we look back at the last map. First loss for them since the day 1 of Challengers. Now we have a very good start and a comeback into this game on Ancient, and while Cloud9 have that hot start that they were missing on Overpass, they couldn't get the second pistol as well. That was good. 4 T rounds straight here for Mouz. And finally, a save has to come out for Cloud9.
The fruits of their labor, Mouz break through the economy.
They can feel this.
They're making this happen.
They're making it happen.
Exertion immediately out through the smoke. Oh
no.
It's back, and so is Shiro's. But as Hobbit runs away, JDC could go through, chooses not to.
There's a timing for him. He's going to start to walk through. He's worried that they're still watching this. The B site is under the control of the Ts just for now, but it's a thin level.
Frozen's gone deep.
Frozen, this mid-round play that he's been pulling out almost every single time.
I love that. Hobbit boosts up for only a moment, doesn't actually hold it. Frozen reveals himself. Now Hobbit's AK Prime. Oh, but it's Inters instead to keep this one even 2v2. The deep mid push coming through and unraveling what's here for Mouz. Axile, best of luck with a scout, a flank through middle towards a B site that belongs to Mouz.
And that was JDC, who was the guy after Hobbit got his kill. You thought, oh, he needs to come out now and find this refrag. He finds a way to be useful and goes completely unnoticed. Axile goes down, and that's a save. That is a save. But Cloud9 are trying to keep a meter stick between them and Mousesports in this first half. And while they're competent in the second half, the Mouz are obviously even better on their CT. Another play for Frozen. Continuously putting his impact down on maps. Win or lose. What he's looking for is a win and a semi-final spot at the Major. Mousesports is an organization, the second time that they've made it this far in their org's history. And with their newest promotions this year, this would break incredible new grounds and draw some interesting stories, some amazing stories, and show that you can do it and you can do it fast if you work hard. No matter how hard the game has gotten.
Ooh. Oh! A
Oh, he didn't see him.
Didn't see him the first time and won't get away the second. Shiro, luckily for Cloud9, trades that right back. If they had lost mid-control and potentially Shiro, Mouz are gunning for that sixth.
It is so impressive the way that they're surmising these middle kills. Whether it's been JDC come out late on the last round, Exertion's lurks, which haven't always worked, but did. Going 4v4 is a happy moment for the T side.
Inters exchanges glances with JDC. Damage here versus NAVI. Nice spam coming out of Mouz.
Yep, he's been trying to spam this spot over and over again.
Push through. Oh! Dexter!
And NAVI low.
33 health because of that wall bang. Absolute desperation inside the B site. We're going to get a press around long. Can Shiro save the day? Or is it going to be NAVI with another? Smoke in front of Shiro. No invitation into this bomb site. But a chance. Oh, he doesn't shoot. He holds. Bomb's gone down. Frozen, a chance to escape through the caves. Shiro, an invitation to save. But it's Axile right next to JDC. Pressing into Frozen. Gun swap, loses Shiro, and will not find himself a single kill. This is Mouz's streak. Oh. 6 rounds straight.
They're getting stronger and more resilient and more clutch. And their individuals are starting to shine. The way they mustered up those first few rounds is something, but now it looks like they're just straight up the better team. Another difficult round one, another save here for Cloud9. And this 5-0 start looks like it was years ago. It feels like it was years ago.
Where is the CT side of Cloud9? Where is what has been their success story? A run unlike nearly any other. Flashes of Cloud9 in Boston. But now as we play amidst the ruins of Ancient, it's Cloud9 who are truly looking ruined.
Yes.
Exertion's gonna hear that walk away. Look at this. Oh. So composed.
You can just give them all the clues now. That's it.
Bombs going down at the B site. Nothing Cloud9 can do to stop that.
They know everyone's flanking from this exact position. So, like some cattle, they sit here back to back, waiting to die. Exertion.
In Cloud9's minds, there's a hope. There's a chance that they press into this retake attempt. All the while, Exertion takes his damn time. World class on the trigger discipline, leading Cloud9 to death yet again. And Mouz now lead by 2.
And the crowd loves him here. The crowd loves Mousesports unequivocally. 7 rounds straight on T side. And now that Cloud9 can see themselves losing this series after blowing over past a giant lead. Sorry, a amazing record, I should say. That fracture could lead to a crack. That could lead to their collapse.
Torzi is going to have vision here. T-side smoke to work around from. Inters wants to go in. They're sending Inters in. Led to slaughter. Like a lamb, Torzi slams NAVI down inside sight. B wide for the taking, and yet there is this press from Cloud9 up through mid. Bomb still down on the dirt. Hobbit hit by the nade. And the closer he gets to that B site, the closer he gets to this Mouz camp. Dexter versus Hobbit. A dink through the side of the wall, and Exertion bests Axile. There is nothing that C9 can seemingly do to stop the hemorrhaging on Ancient. Bleeding out as their hopes evaporate ahead of them. It's 5 alive versus a full buy from Cloud9. My God, Mouz.
Cloud9 had just earned their stripes this year with this roster. Shaking off their online woes, taking their LAN win at Dallas, coming to the major, going through so much to get to this moment in quarters in front of a crowd versus the top teams. And Mouz, they just mosey on in. Get the promotions, get settled, and start off incredibly hot, saying, hey, Frozen, we came to help out. Now they make their first quarters and have a chance to get farther than Cloud9 have ever. But surviving the sinking feeling is what it's been about for Cloud9. And they would have to play above expectation at this point now, yes, to get back into this game. Because it's obviously become just as mental as it has about the game plan. We saw great ideas from Cloud9 in those first 8 rounds, I want to say, but after they got broken down, it started to get worse and worse, easier and easier for Mouz Sports to win. More liberties being taken by the T side as they search. Look how free they're playing up banana.
As they damn well please. They choose what they want when they want. Dexter goes through. Oh, but Shiro at least able to turn it back. And Cloud9 fighting tooth and nail for every round that they can muster together here. There's layers on this one. We've got Exertion already trying to get his way through mid, a path that he has taken time and time again. Shiro rotating all the way to A. NAVI still in the corner, tries to come out, drops Frozen and Torzi. 2 kills his way. Exertion closed in on. Good thing Shiro left that B site. Good thing for Cloud9 that they can win at least one more, at least a 6th on this CT side.
Good to see NAVI staying strong. I think he's going to be the first target of attack when it comes to a pressured situation where things go wrong. In the rounds they won, he was great. After that, everybody took turns dying. But here we have a very confident 2-kill round out of NAVI that results in a round win. They break the streak, and they give themselves a chance to get 7. And if they get 7, that little bit of momentum, we know they have a T side. It's not totally done. It'll probably be their biggest win if they manage it, but it'll also be Mouz's, and they can maybe smell it more.
Oh, he's got in again in the same room. Light the candles. Exertion looks away. He had a moment there where he's still holding that smoke, but with the threat of the CT peak, Hobbit comes out on top, and now Cloud9 trying to stabilize. Final round of the half. 7, the best case scenario. Dexter priming himself to split into this A site, but met by fire, and down goes the bomb.
He committed.
Comes in and knows he has to hit hard. Hobbit knows the exact same thing and will connect to Torzi. So despite Mouz's best efforts to smash and smother Cloud9 across this CT side, it falls on to Dexter and the ferocious Frozen. They know he's back there. They're going to nade him out. A 1v5 attempt in the waning seconds of what has been a wonderful T-side from Mouz. He hits that dink. NAVI desperate and hopping and hoping like Frozen just did into Axile. It's a beautiful shot, but he rounds the corner, finds Shiro, and Cloud9 find what could be their lifeline. 7 on a CT side. An incredible upset. Cloud9 have been rocked on a CT side. And nonetheless on Ancient. Mouz, they'll be slipping into the defense here, looking to close on map 3 of a quarterfinal to deny Cloud9 what was thought to be their run. We've got Exertion into the corner, dual Berettas in hand, fire at his feet.
Ooh.
What could be an essential pistol.
Yes, they move him back very carefully right there. But there are still dualies here.
Ooh, that flash interrupting Cloud9 as they try to press in through the caves. Then it goes both ways. A drive-by from Axile. Frozen's in the corner. Oh, that snap is nasty. And he's still got 3 opponents right ahead. An even keel in the retake. A critical second pistol. A Mouz that wants this more than ever. Axile in with the kill versus JDC. And Torzi reveals himself onto the short side. Axile's got himself another. And there it is as well. The gush into Frozen to give Axile what has been another impactful pistol. To start these halves, it's been him. NAVI ends this, gives Cloud9 at least the slimmest sigh of relief, a breath, a chance to catch themselves and not get rolled on.
They need the pistol to beat the odds right now. Their percentages line up such that if Cloud9 have a small lead, they can still reasonably expect to beat a good team on this map. But for Mouz Sports, the criteria required for them to win is there as well. They got the T side going already. Frozen 15-8. Yes, the other day he played against ENCE. He was 21-7. They beat them 16-5. That was no fluke. Unreal Ancient in their most recent match.
Oh!
And a player that loves the map, continuing to play well. And now look at the damage. Oh my God.
Oh!
They've been chipped down. Finished, in fact. NAVI's out. Hobbit is low. And Exertion is hungry.
Shiro's trying to hold it. Exertion opts not to go through. Good call. That Desert Eagle wasn't too far off the mark. Oh, it leaves Cloud9 stunned.
Yeah. We had a very middling performance out of Inters, trying to control Cave in that first half. Exertion going to show, try to prove that there's a better way for it to be done. Attack now leans back towards the B site.
Oh God.
Multiple targets here.
They're pressing into the caves, and that cave is occupied by Mouz.
No mollies for these close positions. Dangerous to approach cave like this.
Oh, they're walking into what's essentially shotguns. Inter's about to be fed to the wolves. Exertion, it's instantaneous. There's the second peek, and Dexter delivers. Oh no, the cave control is everything. Mouz give them pistol, a false sense of security, and then they welcome them into their lair.
Oh, baby.
4 standing on the force. Mouz right back to winning ways.
Yes, right back to winning ways off the second round. I mean, hey, winning the pistol is one thing, but I'll take the second round over the pistol every single day. Give up that free round just to steal the hope from your opponents who are trying to build on that pistol. Think about the conversions. Think about how they're going to win the first rifle. Well, now they have to think about how they're going to save. Cloud9 can't get that lead back.
Oh, just bombarded! Exertion to the bottom of mid. Any hope you thought you had is gone!
That investment's been wiped out. Shiro alone versus 5. Scouted ahead, and he goes down. No casualties. Max money here made for Mouz as they touch 10 first versus a 5-0 start from Cloud9. And now it's all about maintaining the momentum in Cloud9. They'll have to take a big gulp and know they're going to have to give up another.
Just trying to.
Even easier. No armor, no investment besides this deagle on Shiro. It's just gotten so serious here in Rio.
The run in contrast, right? Remember, this is a Mouz that looked phenomenal in the Challenger stage, 3-0 quickly alongside BNE. We get into Legends, 2-0 instantly. Those best of threes is where they had to taste defeat for the first time in Rio.
Cloud9, the best team to get into this playoffs. By how they got here, the teams they beat on the way, beating the other potential favorite in NAVI on the other side of the bracket. Cloud9, they have on paper the easy side. If NAVI are to do it, it will have to be getting through the winner of Spirit Heroic.
Managing to handle Furia in this environment.
Oh, getting through Furia to start. That's the corner. I was like, oh, that's even another thing. The other team that 3-0 through Legends.
Finally, these pistols are going to start pressing in. Again, it's just desperate on this round. Cloud9 have to have realistic expectations, and Torzi, well, he'll finish that one off.
5 rounds away. And Mouz Sports make history for the organization. The story of the Academy League was the story of this year. And it started with Gambit Youngsters, the team that they may beat to cement their place in semifinals and have a chance to play against outsiders. But this game isn't finished. Job's not finished. Cloud9 still have guns. And while their buy isn't great, they know that they can put this together if they play their best. Can they dig that deep?
Can they regain from the broken mental? Axile, oh, Dexter does him dirty. Comes down that ramp, primes exertion. It's a pinch and a collapse. And that's why they call him Sexter, because you're sat at home right now and he's got your heart pumping. Hobbit hiding behind boxes.
Let him get out of spawn.
Crippled inside his little tiny cave.
You've got Hobbit, who had an over 2.0 rating on map 1, hiding behind a box. 1v5.
Down he goes. Nothing for Cloud9.
And now they're laughing. Looking like a well-oiled machine. Another tea timeout will be called with no money to invest.
Nothing.
If Cloud9 get single-digit rounds by the end of this game, we'll all be left speechless. It's ideas that win tournaments, but without the execution, you will see embarrassing defeats, even with great game plans. And Groove can just sit and watch. They need to show composure like they've never seen, and they don't have the CD side to come back on like they did all throughout these previous stages. This would be their biggest comeback yet.
So they try fast. Mistake. They're going to get aggressive, but exertion, he's ready for anything you got. Third player in, traded by Dexter. Even when they find that slimmest opening, it comes with an instantaneous close.
Perfect spacing and exertion. He doesn't make a mistake. He only pulls out his utility because he knows his teammate is right there to cover him.
Frozen's going to play in front of it. Why? Because nothing can stop him. He is simply too sharp, or so he was. Hobbit It's a clean headshot, and if anybody's really kind of put up those moments, it has been the upgraded pistols of Hobbit. It's what busted Mouz on Inferno. It's what got C9 through.
A long list of great markers here for Mouz Sports, with the utility damage coming in early, some aggressive maneuvers coming out early. Mouz Sports cried when they qualified into quarters. And that could have been very easily the last thing they did, and they were already satiated. And now they're putting themselves in a position to do more.
Guns up and Exertion goes through, and what a contrast. You know, you give me Exertion or you give me Inters in terms of aggressive cave play. I'm taking the young Israeli star every step of the way. With a smoke in front of him, confidence at an all-time high. A team that believes in him. 3 young players who have bled together season after season of academy play. Brothers in arms. And Shiro misses his chance to strike them down. It's a turn from Inters. There it is. Better late than never. He picks up impact on the lane. There is a third piece to this puzzle in Frozen, though.
Oh, and they're not overthinking it. Mouz are fast. Sending one in through mid to go for the flank. 2 in the sight now. 3 full HP players. The damage come out. Shiro chipped down.
That is an ominous warning, a sign of things to come. Cloud9 could still press in, but Frozen finds another. Shiro's up next, and he lands that critical shot. They hold on to man advantage. They want to come in through caves. Torzi has left it to them.
No flank shut down. Looking for the CTs to move out. 2 still here.
Such little HP. JDC, it goes down with utter ease. And Hobbit, well, he presses in with damage, but that's their invitation to run. Do they have time to get away?
Oh, but Mouz know that there is absolutely no way they can do this by stopping or
Torzi
splitting up.
sprinting.
Bomb in the back. CT's
Off versus
in.
off. The bomb just getting into sight. Oh, is there time for this? Yes, he's got it right there with Shiro, and Torzi misses his chance, lands the first onto Hobbit, off the off, Shiro lands the kill, and with it, Cloud9 have a hope.
Oh.
But only the slimmest of chances.
The full house between Inters and Shiro, the first 2 and the last 3.
The final second, the final shot, a 1v1 in Cloud9's back pocket.
Make no mistake, if Cloud9 find a way back into this game, it would be their biggest, most impressive comeback maybe on record. Considering the circumstances, you can't underrate Mouz. They're playing serious CS today. And this win means the most. Everything else is in the past. Cloud9 looking for a 10th. Nafanino, once again, he ends up getting his kill. That HE damage assisting. He could have won cave with that if he didn't land that first. Exertion touches 20. T's sent scrambling.
Exertion's not going to shy away, though. Again, 1 round is simply but a measly dent in the confidence of Mouz. It will take far more to reclaim what Mouz have conquered versus Cloud9. Hobbit at the front, JDC lines them up! Oh, 2 kills with the spray! And just like that, Cloud9's hopes again will be challenged. Nice kill from Shiro, an off flick up. Little bits of JDC left over, but still he's in this corner, and with that, he will creep and crawl, and Shiro thinks he has a damn chance, but down he goes! Woo! JDC with 3, Mouz on 14!
The in-between aggressions, they're not scared. They're not playing to not lose. They know how to make those moves, whether or not there's pressure. The peek down the ramp last time. JDC pushing into middle. Not worried, not scared of Shiro. He had this fear aura over everyone in the tier 1 that he would be waiting, holding your angle, ready to punish you. Mouz playing like the better team, looking for the gaps. Not calling it aggressive, not calling it defensive, just calling it good. And doing what they know they need to. And taking matters into their own hands. Look at the angle that's opened up to him because he tried to take the fight on his own terms. And now we've got a broke, busted, and bruised Cloud9.
They're buying.
Galils are coming through.
They're buying.
Defending against 15.
Oh my God. In the face of what some consider tournament favorites. Dominant form out of Cloud9. A 3-0 in the Legend stage that thought they'd never see defeat again.
Well, but there are some toenails in their face right now.
Nobody from Cloud9, or rather nobody but Cloud9, have faced the brink of elimination more throughout this event and yet continue to be here in the playoffs. This is it. Their final boss. And a smoke, did that just miss?
No, decoy,
Okay.
decoy landed at the site.
Oof.
T just threw it out, tried to elicit a reaction. Nothing's come through.
Got me frazzled.
That's the sign of an impoverished team using decoys to start things out to see what they can muster. It's not scaring Mouse Sports whatsoever.
Have you really hit the bottom of the barrel? A nade that nearly finds its home. And Creature Comfort's exertion has thrived at this cave.
He's been amazing. This is the 1.41 rating Challenger State exertion.
Oh, it's easy for Dexter. Shiro's trying to challenge, trying to peek, and Corsi's nade will find him. But here again, it's JDC locking them in position. NAVI finds the trade. The A site looks open. Frozen, yet again, headshot in an instant. Nade goes over top, denies that ball plant. NAVI chewed down. AK's desperation. You will not find it, Cloud9.
Oh, they can't.
Mouz, 6 match points.
They're getting shut out.
With a broken economy on the line.
The same money coming into this round to defend their tournament life.
And nothing in round 24 would have you believe that Cloud9 have a chance.
5 Galils. And what feels like so little will left. Run through the ringer. Tested over and over again. And who would have thought it would be little old Mouz to be the final boss?
Led by Dexter, the furthest he has ever gotten in a major. If they win one more round, he will be the 4th Australian to ever touch semifinals to join the legends of the Renegades. And middle goes quiet, but forward cave presence yet again. Exertion, he wants it. Oh, he wants it bad. And Hobbit, well, you better check your corners. Dexter, yet again, survives. He does it every time. When push comes to shove, Dexter finds another. 1 frag away. What's meant to be the reliable Russian rifler has been non-existent on Ancient. And this crowd, oh, this crowd has rolled out the red carpet for the NXT generation. Young blood inside the Surfer, hoping to find just one more kill. Dreams are on the line. It's at least a return back from Axile, but